Any good acting has behavior with it.
Nate, why? Why such bitterness? What have I done to you? Get out! You're no nephew of mine. As far as I'm concerned, you're as dead as that wretch Cermak.
You have to embellish the words with a certain amount of gravity. Because we're talking about things that are really important here that are kind of secret. There's a natural kind of darkness when you talk about noir. You know, it's great. I love it.
Longtime Viddy Droogies, longtime no Viddy Droogies, coming at you from 1987. It's me, Laser Bob, or as I like to call myself, the Pharaoh of Physical Media, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm here for Let's Get Physical Media, episode number 241. And you know, it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm sure that all of you out there feel neglected because you haven't been touched by us in over 2 weeks. We're here to change that, and I'm here to bring you, the world has come to the United States. The world has been broadcasting how much they love America. Japanese men are eating barbecue in Texas and going bananas. The tartan army from Scotland descended upon Boston and drank all the beer in all the bars in all the world. Actually, just in Boston. I mean, they said that the Scots drank 3 times as much as Americans drink on St. Patty's Day. God damn, I'm proud of the rest of the world. You look at TikTok and people would think that Americans are the greatest people on the planet. And indeed we might be. But you know what? You know what no one on the internet has talked about in the World Cup? They haven't talked about their favorite German. Not even the Germans have talked about their favorite German. They don't even know. We Americans, we're not only the greatest people in the world with the best food and the most hospitality. Look, you can come to America and start playing a bagpipe at 6:30 in the morning. Do Americans get mad? No, they come out and they serve you sausage, bratwurst, and I believe this man would as well, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. You know him, you've missed him. He's Dieter Bastian.
Rob, I'm glad to be back, and I was asking myself why I'm even still on this show going into almost 6 years, and I watched some observation, and I thought, wait a minute, what Rob has said probably is true for me too. We had some private conversations back and forth over Skype, and then he probably said, let's see what the kids got, probably literally. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs, Dieter here I am, Rocky Like Erican, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media. After we've been away for 2 weeks, 2 weeks back, Rob and I both didn't get much of anything to show, so we decided, okay, let's skip this week. And then last Sunday, days early, my router completely died, went off the air, so I was a man without the internet. But now I'm back, and even Rob still know what I did when I didn't have my internet. Luckily, we have physical media, and I finally finished, since I had nothing to do else, First Light, and I had a really great time. I wouldn't say it's a triple A title, it's a double A title, considering the graphics are just more serviceable, but I really had a nice time with the story. I can't wait for them to do a second one. When the music kicks in, I got a blast with First Light. Had really nice time with playing it, and luckily, through physical media, I still have stuff to do. And Rob, since you mentioned the Soccer World Cup, the big, great news, America and Germany are both advancing to the next KO round, even if they have still one match left to do. But they both won their first 2 matches, so they're already going into the next round. It doesn't matter how they will do in the third game. So, Rob, glad I'm back. But the only drawback for me is I can't chime in about much of the movies that are playing in theaters in America, because the only movie that I have seen is Masters of the Universe. I have not seen Disclosure Day, because after your review and a lot of others, I'm not really looking forward to it big time. And still, Obsession has not opened here, and Backrooms just played started this week, so I have not seen any of the big ones. The only thing that I've seen is actually Masters of the Universe. And like Europe, I have no big ties to the franchise or the IP back in the day. So for me, I come totally as an outsider considering Masters of the Universe. And I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Had a good time with it. Had fun with it. Seems like a little bit of a trope or cliche, but it was just what it was. But I have no knowledge of the lore, or I'm not really really beholden to the characters if they're right, or if they've done a little bit too much of the HR stuff, which I quite enjoyed actually, even working in the
funny.
HR department. And I liked a lot of the creature designs. I have to say I like. And Rob, if you finally getting around to doing your time machine, please make me a movie copy from Master of the Universe so I can go back to 1987 and switch the movies out against the Dolph Lundgren one. Because, Rob, when that movie, in that kind of state, would have come out back in 1987, I think it would have been a big, big smash hit. But in this day and age, it's just interchangeable with MCU movies, with all the other stuff. And that's probably is, for me, the most important thing, why it's not a big success. It's not unique enough, you know? You watch the trailers, yeah, I've seen some of those spectacles already. Often people say, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians was unique when it came out. But Master of the Universe is missing that uniqueness for people to go out. So even with good reviews, that didn't help. So unfortunately, it's flopping. But Rob, is there still a chance for a sequel?
Well, they're talking about it because, you know,
Okay.
Amazon made the film, and there is talk of a sequel because, you know, they absorb it. They're not, Amazon and Apple are not, the box office does not really have much to do. Like, look, when Netflix makes a $230 million movie like The Gray Man with the Russo brothers, that didn't even have a theatrical release at all.
Yeah.
So any money that Masters of the Universe makes, it depends what they want. I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed watching. I thought it was a lot of fun. But look, I think the fundamental problem is Masters of the Universe at its zenith, it was most successful between 82 when the toys came out. And when the movie came out in 87, the toy franchise was already waning. Now, you have a tiny group of people that have always loved that franchise when they were kids. The problem is that franchise was always made and designed to sell toys. And there was a lot of good work that was done by some of the writers to create mythology and the paintings on the outside of the boxes. But the fact is, Masters of the Universe is a very niche franchise, but it has the illusion of being this giant franchise because it was huge for about 5 years. 4 years, or no, 5 years. Yeah. It was huge. And they've been trying to bring it back ever since. And the fact is, Masters of the Universe just will never have... You know, I read an interesting script, I want to say 20 years ago, called Grayskull, that was written by Mark Prasevich. I think that's how I say his name. And it was much more serious take. It was pretty great, you know, in the wake of Lord of the Rings. But even then, you're still fighting against the fact that it's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. It's... There is no... I mean, in the wake of Lord of the Rings, they keep trying to make these movies like the Warcraft movie. They tried to do Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. And, you know, I think that nowadays, when we've been getting Game of Thrones, even A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which was a little bit more lighthearted, still had an element of seriousness to it and heroism and honor. And that's what people want from their fantasy. A throwback bubblegum popcorn fantasy derived from the 80s, it just doesn't have an audience. And, you know, we reported on this on the John Campea show that the people the percentage of the audience that was under 18 going was 11%. And that's probably because their dad dragged them to it. And that's not how, I mean, I would say that, you know, not everybody's keeps looking for IP without, you didn't stop. Just because you could doesn't mean that you should. And I think everybody did amazing work in Masters of the Universe. I really had a blast. I thought some of the fight choreography was great. I loved Guy Dias's design work. I thought Travis Knight did a pretty good job directing it all. But it didn't have a chance. Not in 2026.
Yeah.
I mean, I admire them for taking it on and trying to do it, but it was never the you know what? The tone does not match the age. And I don't mean the age of the audience. I mean the age that we live in. So.
But I already, Rob, luckily, since it's from Amazon MGM Studios, it will get a physical media release, and I already pre-ordered my steelbook. But considering toys, Rob, we have a Toy Story 5. Did it make any money at all?
I worry about the Toy Story franchise. There's a franchise, and I think to myself, really, should they make another one? Should they? Well, Dieter, Toy Story 5 reaches for the sky with a $312 million worldwide debut. It's made $312 million with a $312 million global weekend opening. Disney Pixar's Toy Story 5 is the second best for a Pixar movie without China, behind 2024's Inside Out 2, which debuted to $384 million. Did the World Cup kick the foreign box office in the head? We used to write about such paranoia in the early aughts when studios were first embracing international at the summer box office, but alas, the World Cup only impacted business on the day of the games. Read when Mexico had a game on Thursday, the biggest territory for the pick at $26.6 million, and second best bow year to date, and third best for Pixar or Brazil on Friday. So it's quite possible when we get to the quarterfinals in the next week or the championship in early July, we might see a dent. By leaps and bounds, Jessie, Woody, and Buzz are the number one movie at the global weekend box office. They're followed by, among MPA titles, check this out, Universal's Disclosure Day. Its second weekend grossed $35.7 million worldwide. Obsession, in its sixth weekend, made $25.1 million. Scary Movie is up to $15.8 million worldwide during its third frame. Michael had a global weekend of $13.6 million for a running cum in Japan of $17.5 million. The cum, the worldwide box office of Michael, stands at $959.6 million.
Ooh,
I think it's going to
close.
I think it's going to crack $1 billion, brah.
Could be close.
Toy Story 5 is the best global start all year, but Universal Illumination's Super Mario Galaxy opened at $372.5 million worldwide. What the? Here's the thing. The Super Mario Galaxy movie includes Germany, Austria, and 2 days of domestic with Wednesday and Thursday, which Toy Story 5 didn't have. So if you back that out, Super Mario Galaxy's weekend is $302 million. I mean, all this number, it doesn't matter. It made a lot of money. So
it hasn't even opened here, Rob. There were just a few preview showings considering Toy Story 5. So even Toy Story 5 will open here later. And just a question, Rob. I don't know if you have done a double feature with Alvaro. There's a Robin Hood movie with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
that
the
I have
death of
no
the
idea
death of
where that came from.
The Death of Robin Hood. Alvaro and I did rock a triple feature on Thursday.
Okay.
We saw Toy Story 5, The Furious, and the gay-themed horror film Leviticus, which I actually quite liked. I thought it was great.
Okay. And The Furious, is it as good as they say, Rob, considering martial arts movies?
I wanted to love it.
Okay.
Here is my problem with The Furious. And Alvaro didn't have this problem. My problem with The Furious is that the fight scenes have no journey within them. Like, if you're going to have a fight between two people, it has to ebb and flow. Fights have, you can't just go to turn it up to 11, fight, and then it ends. This movie, every single fight was cranked up to 11. There was no, I mean, people just, and it happened so fast that, and I understand why people liked it. The end scene went on for like 100 years, and it was a fight that people kept joining. And I mean, look, I love things like the raid, or as I like to call it,
so
the
it
rad.
wasn't it wasn't as the raid to the kitchen fight. When you is that what you mean?
Yes,
and flow?
yes. Everything in the raid ebbs and flows. And the thing is, here's something that I and it's not to say that there's not a lot of great fighting and work on display in the Furious, because there is. But if everything is cranked up to 11 all the time, it's mind-numbing. You know, you're watching these fights, and in order to enjoy a fight, you want to enjoy, you know, don't sweat the technique, as Eric B. and Rakim might say. You have to see the technique. You can't just go, it becomes boring. And I thought a lot of the fighting in the Furious was just too furious. Now, Alvaro loved it, and the audience, I think, enjoyed it, and a lot of people have really enjoyed it. But for me, you know, I much prefer when you see something. I'll give you another example. Editing, like when you're watching dancing, editing is the enemy of action. Now, that people would say, what are you talking about, Rob? You have to have a great edited action sequence. Yes, you do. But here's the thing. Frequently, and I'll give you Snake Eyes as an example if you saw that movie, they frequently use editing to cover up lack of choreography or lack of impressive action. Because what happens is, every time you cut, especially in a fight scene, if someone throws a punch, and here's your trick, when you're throwing a punch, as soon as the punch connects, you cut to the reverse when the guy's head comes back. So you create that illusion of being punched. The problem is the edit automatically makes you flinch. So it gives you a fake sense of action. What I want to see is within the frame, with no editing, a punch being thrown, and it's convincing, and then the guy reacts. Show me a fist appear to smash into someone's face, and they fly back without an edit. If you convince me that somebody got punched, and the Rocky films are pretty good at this, you know, because if you didn't believe the fights in Rocky, now I'm not to say there's no editing in Rocky, but you believe those fights. But in this show, they edit it. The people were moving too fast, and there was too much editing, I thought.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was, you know, it was enjoyable. I mean, you know, but it just got to the point where
you're the first take that I hear is just it was not as good as the raids.
Well, because you know what, it's shiny in terms of the fighting. It's just fighting. And sometimes it strained credulity because there was a little bit of wire work, or somebody would get kicked and they would slide too far across the floor.
Certainly.
And I'm like, that's why I like the raid. It's pummeling. Long takes when people are fighting. Those dudes, they will fuck you up.
No.
So, and then so I saw Toy Story.
Toy Story 5, correct, Rob.
Which is it's a wonderful film. I loved it.
Okay.
I don't think it reaches the heights of Toy Story 1, 2, or 3, but I did think it was a lovely film. And I thought it was emotional, engaging. I love the Randy Newman score. It's beautifully directed, beautifully animated. But that's, you know, that's what you would expect. You're watching it's like a Philippe Patak watch. Yeah. It's brilliantly engineered, you know, or Richard Relay or whatever.
Can you tell me a little bit about Leviticus, about what this movie is about?
So Leviticus was really interesting. It's an Australian film that was doing well on the festival circuit. And in it, it's basically about the relationship between two guys. One of them has another relationship. They're teenagers, and they're gay. And one boy has just moved into town, and the other guy, they kind of are attracted to each other, and they hook up. But their parents are involved in a Christian fundamentalist sect where homosexuality does not fly. So they call in a exorcist, gay whisperer, conversion therapist, somebody who comes in and casts basically a spell or some kind of a prayer. And what happens is, from then on, if you're one of those two boys, a demon appears to you that looks like the person that you're attracted to. Now, if no one else is around, you think this is the person that you're attracted to. You think this is your boyfriend. You think you're going to get busy or whatever. And this demon comes and will tear you apart. It's a homophobic demon. And the only way you can keep safe is if you have to be around other people. But in a way, it's kind of like there's an It Follows element that this demon appears.
Yeah.
The demon appears as
the
person that you most care about. And it was pretty wicked. I mean, the movie it's beautifully directed. And I thought it was incredibly atmospheric. I loved the sound design of the film. I really loved this movie. I thought it was, I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it was definitely a great piece of modern horror. And at the end of the day, I think it really did have it was, in a way, it has a very romantic message at the end. I mean, it's about two boys or two men falling in love, but the idea that if you fall in love with somebody, you have to stand by them. In this case, a demon's going to come, and but I kind of liked it. It was strangely, and it was hardcore, and it was scary. It was scary.
Ooh,
it was genuinely scary.
Nice.
So we saw Toy Story 5, The Furious, and Leviticus in one day.
Okay. The smaller runtime movies, so not the Death of Robin Hood with Hugh Jackman.
No, we didn't. Well, we couldn't fit that in.
Okay.
Correct. Fit that in. And by the way, at the domestic box office, I thought I would give you a little rundown.
Yeah,
no, we don't have the charts yet. I can't give you the rundown. They don't have the domestic box office yet. So, and of course, in the States, we Friday was Juneteenth, and today, by the way, I'd be remiss if I did not say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You do good work.
So, since I was without the World Wide Web, Rob, I have not seen much digital. But what I've seen is Damien McCarthy's Hokum, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Once again, he knocked it out of the park with his third movie. So for me, it's 3 out of 3 from this guy. And like we always said, or some people always say they need to love the character to get into the movie, because Adam Scott, considering his behavior, was really not nice to his fans, I would say. But I loved him. I loved him the way he played it.
Yeah,
so
he was great.
I thoroughly enjoyed Hokum. I hope you did too. Already pre-ordered the 4K. So for me, David McCarthy, even with the third one, great. And considering the success of Michael, Netflix was on the fringe immediately and put out the docuseries The Verdict, which you actually could say is the sequel to Michael, with all the stuff that wasn't in the movie. And I had a good time with it, Rob, because I know about the trial, but not all the ins and outs, how it did play out again. So just to relive that time again through the documentary was really great. It's 3 episodes around 1 hour each, a little bit less. So I really had a nice time with it, just to see how big of a spectacle that trial was, and I totally forgot how big that trial was back in the day. So it really was a nice, I would say, companion piece actually to Michael. It continued where probably the movie stopped. So if you were not a fan of Michael because it didn't feature that stuff, you will get it here. And it was nice to see in the courtroom of the back and forth, when which side gets the upper hand a little bit. So it was really nicely done, I thought, the documentary, the Maigret verdict. So this was all the stuff that I've seen digital, because I was a man without the internet. So Rob, physical media.
First thing I want to give a shout out to is Lisa Stevenson and her team at Lionsgate Limited. I received in the mail the Leprechaun replacement disc.
Oh, okay.
Now, there's a lot of people that talked about. I
Yeah.
knew that there was some kind of a problem with the transfer.
Okay.
It wasn't green enough, you know. But I want to give a shout out. Lionsgate Limited is always Johnny on the spot. If there's a problem, they fix it. You don't have to ask. If you've bought it directly from them, they will send you a replacement. And shout out to Lionsgate Limited for that kind of customer service.
That's great. That's great, Rob. And I think we have some super chats, Rob, that came in. I would say
We do. Let's
that
see if we
before
have some. Do we have
before
some?
we
First of all,
start
Under
showing-
Kelly is now an imagination connoisseur. Thank you, Kelly. Film Guy J is also an imagination connoisseur. M1 Key Sweatband. Well, he's the key. A wristband is apparently an imagination connoisseur, which I love to hear. Jurassic Joey is an imagination connoisseur now.
Nice.
Major Chai sends in a super chat and says Happy Father's Day with a heart. Heart to Major Chai. Kelvin Wellborn has been a member for 50 months. 50 months. On behalf of Corey M., will Sanctuary, a.k.a. fish, plankton, sea greens, and proteins from the sea, be getting an Arrow 4K or Blu-ray release? Well, if you have, for those of you who don't know, guess what Tuesday is? This Tuesday.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure. Let me
Okay.
let me verify that. But it's the 23rd.
Yeah. 23rd is
the
Tuesday.
23rd. This Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, is the 50th anniversary of the U.S. release of Logan's Run. 50 years ago Tuesday. And guess who was at the John Dance Theater? The same theater I saw Star Trek The Motion Picture in, with my mother, to see Logan's Run with a double bill of Fantastic Planet, which my mom dragged me out of 10 minutes into the movie. But Logan's Run blew my mind. It used to be that all of our nerdy friends, when we turned 30, we would buy them Logan's Run one-sheets, movie posters. Everyone got one when they turned 30. Now, for those of you who might be interested in Arrow in particular, Logan's Run was released on September 30th, 1976 in the UK.
So
if
still a possibility.
If you bought Wake in Fright from Arrow, or you bought John Woo's Bullet in the Head, you know, Arrow's cheeky. They put in postcards for their new releases. Guess what there was a postcard for in Wake in Fright and Bullet in the Head? Well, Dieter, you'd be correct if you said Logan's Run.
Logan's Run.
Now, Logan's Run is a big widescreen epic. It's an Academy Award-winning film based on the novel by George Clayton Johnson and William F. Nolan. Sandman, Sandman, leave my door, don't come back here anymore. The movie bears very little resemblance to the book, but I fucking love Logan's Run. I saw it. My 9-year-old mind was blown. There was a place in the Dome City called the Love Shop with lots of naked people having sex, and I knew I wanted to go there when I was 9. Boobies. Jenny Agutter. It's all good. And by the way, a killer Jerry Goldsmith score. One of my favorite scores, both electronic and orchestral. I love Logan's Run. So we're here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Logan's Run. I can't believe it. 50 years ago, this Tuesday, June 23rd, is Logan's Run Day. So there you go. Go to your own love shop and see what you can find. Put yourself on the circuit. See what happens. So there you go. Yes. So the answer to that super chat is yes, indeed. Logan's Run is coming out in 4K. There's so much cool stuff coming out, which I can't talk about. But Arrow is killing
do it in the news section.
Killing it. And Bullet in the Head. Come on, what's not to love with that? So so Corey, is that Corey Manlove you're asking? Why isn't Corey here himself? Yes, and our friend's name is Corey Manlove. Robert Saladino. says, "What is your greatest movie theater experience?" Well, if you watch one of my Robservations that I did a couple weeks ago about seeing Star Trek: The Motion Picture for the first time, that's
I
right
totally
up there.
I totally forgot, Rob. That was one of the nicest moments in the last 3 weeks when all came crashing down or came flooding up again. This was authenticity.
Dude, I started crying, man.
Totally.
I started crying telling that
Yeah.
story.
I know. Oh, he's gotten his moment. Was not paying attention in class. Had his head in the clouds. The day was going shitty, but it all came out in the end.
Yeah, Robert Saladino.
It was such a nice moment, Rob.
It was bad. You know what's so weird? You don't know. Like, I really was telling this story. I've told the story a million times. But this time, the way I was telling it or something, it was more I was digging deeper into my own memories or whatever, and it was involuntary. It's involuntary.
Yeah.
Do you have a So I don't want to dodge the question. I just told this story though a couple weeks ago. That was probably my greatest movie going experience. But what is yours, Dieter? Do you have a great movie going experience?
I'm thinking what he probably describes greatest movie theater experience is not only perhaps the movie, but considering the stuff around them. I can't think of anything specific. But for me, a great movie experience is, of course, the movie itself, edge of your seat. And I have to say, I rarely get that today. More back in the day when you were more easily to impress. So I remember Face Off that blew me away. I was on the edge of my seat. Aliens, I was on the edge of my seat back in the day. So, but considering an experience with stuff around, being in line for something, not really that stood out for me. Or I've not thinking I have that kind of big story like you with Star Trek the motion picture.
I will tell you, a friend of mine calls me up, and I was deliriously excited to see Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim. Giant robots, kaiju, I was so excited to see this. And the trailers were, and I was, as people know, I was calling it Pacific Rim job. I was so excited to get one. And so I was invited to a screening. I want to say Derek Hughes invited me 4 months before the movie opened, which is a long time. And we went down to the Burbank 16, the AMC, the busiest movie theater in the United States. Yeah. And we went down there like Saturday morning, and we got in line, and I didn't even know what the screening was for. And sometimes if you're industry people, they don't let you in. But they let us in. And everybody who was there, we lost our minds. Like, we were screaming. It was exactly what I wanted. My only criticism of Pacific Rim was there wasn't enough of it. But when Gypsy Danger's in Hong Kong and he's walking down the street and he picks up the oil tanker and uses it as a baseball bat, I lost my mind. I mean, and it was like being in a wrestling match. The whole theater was going bananas. It was going, and then afterwards, Guillermo del Toro was in the lobby waiting to see, because I think they needed, I don't know if Legendary needed convincing, because I think at the time, I want to say Thomas Tull was there and John Jashney was there too, executives at and they were there. I recognized them from Superman 2 or Superman Returns, and they were there as well. The executives were there, and I walked up to Guillermo and he was surrounded by people. I said, "Listen, this is 4 months out. Is there like an embargo? Can I go on social media and talk about it?" He turns to me, he goes, "Tell your friends, tell everybody," which I thought was pretty funny. And it was amazing. So that was a recent. And you know what? It delivered everything I wanted, and it was so satisfying to see that. And everybody who was in that theater will probably never forget it, because we were. I mean, it was like being at a rock concert. It was amazing.
Did they show it in 3D? Rob, that screening, or was it 2D?
No, it was in 2D.
2D.
It was in 2D. I think. I don't recall it being in 3D.
Yeah.
Although, it's a great 3D Blu-ray.
Exactly. Perhaps, Rob, they didn't even had the conversion done back in the day. When you saw the movie that early, perhaps they were still working on the conversion.
Yeah, they could very well have been. By the way, yesterday was the official birthday of the Blu-ray format. Blu-ray turned 20 yesterday.
20, okay. Happy birthday, Blu-ray.
Here's to Blu-ray. I am off the sauce. for a
Hydration
while.
break, Rob, like in the soccer games. Hydration break.
Yeah. 100%. So, very exciting, very exciting. But yes, Bill Hunt wrote a great piece on the 20th anniversary of
Yeah.
Blu-ray on his Patreon that he made free for people, so you can go read that. And that's pretty cool. So, 20 years. My first Blu-ray
what you're-
player... Oh,
So
go
what you're
ahead.
telling me, HD DVD is already buried? It
HD
doesn't have a birthday anymore?
What's that, Dieter? My first Blu-ray player was a PlayStation 3 that
Me
my
too.
girlfriend
me
at
too,
the time,
Rob.
Mary
The
Forrest,
fat
gave me.
PS3, and it was a great,
It
actually
was
great player.
that was a
considering the loading
great,
time.
great Blu-ray player. It was my primary Blu-ray player for 10
Me too.
years. Fantastic.
I don't know about 10, but it was the first that I've had actually. Video console was the first.
Yeah, it's
player.
fantastic.
Blu-ray.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Logan's Run and Blu-ray having a birthday. But you know what freaked me out?
What? Yeah.
It freaked me out that Blu-ray is 20 years old and then Logan's Run is 50, because the birthdays of, I would have thought that, Blu-ray's birthday is in 2006. It was born in 2006.
Yeah.
And Logan's Run's 50 years old, but it just seems that, how am I as old? How can I be this old? Both of these Blu-ray, both of these birthdays, it seemed like I've been getting Blu-ray for 10 years. Nope.
Yeah. Max.
And I'm still getting Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And it's home video formats, man. Laserdiscs, 1978.
They're doing it.
I'm going to be dead
Yeah.
soon. What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So shall we? What did you get? I want to see what you got. What did you get?
Rob, we have some super chat that came.
Oh, we do. We haven't finished.
in-
I'm sorry. Where am I? I'm thinking about how close I am to death.
That's a nice thing to do on Sunday, Rob.
Jason Nelson says, "Miss you
Yeah.
on Versus. Are you going to see Citizen Vigilante?" Well, now I can come back to Versus because there has been a change on the John Campea show. No longer
Okay.
will I be going in the studio. I'll be doing it from here, which
Nice.
is a studio. John wanted. He's making some changes in the show, and I'm like, okay, I can stay here, which means the reason that I wasn't on Versus was because, the show was from noon to
The
1.
time you didn't get. It was not enough time for you to get
Yeah,
back.
no, you drive back. It takes an hour, hour and a half sometimes. So I'll be back on Versus starting Monday, tomorrow. Tom Jr. Jackson has been a member for 67 months.
And Rob, you
67
didn't
months.
finish his question. Have
Oh.
you seen Citizen?
Am I going to see
Vigilante?
Uwe Boll's?
the new Uwe Boll movie, Rob?
Well, you know what? Because of the
I'm Yama.
controversy, I really want to see it.
Yeah,
And
but I'm not expecting much, Rob.
no.
even if they say it's banned in Germany because of violence or stuff that's in the movie, but
Well, it's mean
not
spirited,
expecting much.
which means I want to see it. It sounds like it's right up our alley.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's a modern Death Wish, and instead of criminals, he's killing migrants. So.
At least I know the audio commentary will probably be more entertaining than the movie, because
Yeah.
Uwe does great audio commentaries.
But if you read that report that came out in the UK about the grooming gangs, I don't think that this movie is as offensive as people might think it is. Especially if you read,
Okay.
I read some of that report and it's appalling.
yeah,
Anyway, Jason Nelson says, that's what he said. So Tom Jr. Jackson, sorry about that. Tom says he's been a member of this channel for 67 months, and he just wanted to say thank you, Rob, for being a part of this great channel. I thank you for being a part of this great channel, Tom. And Dieter, good to see you as well. Brian Hepburn has been a member for 68 months. Robert Saladino says, my father and I watched Rocky 3. The whole theater stood up for the last 15 minutes and cheered as if it was a live event. Thank you, Dad. Miss you. What a great memory on Father's Day to share. I would love to have seen that. Laser Bobby Jr. says, hey, Pops, wanted to wish you a happy Father's Day. You're the best absent father a boy could have ever wanted. The sad part about that is I would have loved to have had a son. We could have had so much fun together watching Laserdiscs, and I would have taken you to movies that are totally inappropriate for your age level. But I never got to do that, unfortunately. I guess there's still time, I suppose. So we're good. We're caught up. Okay. Andy Haynes has been a member for 33 months. So there you go.
So, who starts?
You do. Show us what you got, buddy. What's happening in Germany?
In Germany, what did I got over the last 3 weeks? And I start with 2 doubleheaders, considering the actresses involved. Mila Jovovich. I've got her new direct-to-video movie, or I think it's played in the States in the theater.
Double headers, considering the actresses involved. My mind, somebody's got to clean my brain out. That's all I can say.
So Protector, unfortunately, does not reach over being your average direct-to-video production. It has some nice, violent moments, but considering the movie, what I totally was not a fan of, Rob, was actually the picture quality. A movie this new should at least look somewhat decent, I would say. So for me, the picture quality was not up to snuff, or not to my liking, considering the digital look that it had. So Protector, you can watch or leave it, doesn't matter. But considering Mila, I'm really looking forward to watching this again, because I haven't seen it in forever. From Luc Besson, his Jean.
Oh yeah, that's a nice steelbook.
Yeah, they put it out on 4K, so we've got a 3-disc set actually of Jean d'Arc. So the 4K, Blu-ray, and bonus features. And let me just see if I can put this out. So we have Mila here in the back too, and I haven't seen that movie, I believe, since probably the DVD days. I have no idea. So Jean d'Arc with Mila. So this was the stuff, double feature with Mila. Now we get to the nice Girls with Guns genre from Hong Kong. And I have 2 movies with Moon Lee. And the first one even features Yukari Oshima, which I showed the nice poster collection, or the info stuff that someone got me on convention. The first one is Mission of Justice, which actually is called here Angel Terminators 3. Unfortunately, this is a skippable Girls with Guns movie. I was not a big fan of this one, because Moon Lee and Yukari actually are not featured that big in the movie, even if they are the main leads. They have to go undercover. But the movie actually switches in the middle to the baddies, actually, which is not a problem in particular. But the movie had only decent action and some stuff, considering your precious verisimilitude, even if you give those movies a little bit of leeway, where I go, it doesn't work for me. But Rob, considering since it's between you and me, there are 3 rapes happening at the same time. Well, at least it was before Naked Weapon did it. So on that front, Mission of Justice succeed. Rapes at the same time. Ouch. A better one with Moon Lee is actually Princess Madam, which I thoroughly enjoyed, considering how it played out. Here in Germany, it's actually called Iron Angels 4. So it is under the Iron Angels franchise. And this one was great because it had different subplots that actually were quite enjoyable. Nice action here. So this, considering the girls with guns genre, was really nice, really decent. So this one, Princess Madam, yes. Mission of Justice is unfortunately no. If I remember correctly, Rob, you had a good time with this one, and I had too, Rob. I thoroughly enjoyed Hoppers from Disney.
Yeah.
I've got the 4K.
I really
steelbook
liked it.
From the UK, because here in Germany it doesn't get a 4K Blu-ray release, just the Blu-ray. So we have the 4K and the Blu-ray. And I really had a great time with the setup, a little bit Matrix-like, a lot of laughs. The only negative thing, which has actually not really much to do with the movie, is actually the animation. Back in the day, for me, Pixar always pushed the limits, getting a step further. This actually looks a little bit regressive considering the computer animation. But still, for me, Hoppers, great time with it. Great time, good laughs. And it could surprise me, considering the story. It gotten more bonkers and over the top. So Hoppers, really great. This one, I really looking forward to see how the 4K will hold up. Haven't seen it in a long time. I got from Arrow. I've got Audition from Akechi Miike. So this is the more prominent or more well-known cover. So it's only a 4K, but it comes with a booklet too for the movie. Haven't seen it in forever, and I think, Rob, it was shot on 16mm, so probably you should expect a little bit of grain here with the 4K, but I haven't seen it yet. But I'm really looking forward to Audition in 4K. Rob, you probably have seen earlier Takeshi Miike films. Perhaps this was the first one that I saw from him.
That's later, but yeah, mine's on its way. Can't wait to get that. I bought that movie a lot of times in my life.
yeah, as we all do, Rob, with the Japanese and Asia stuff. This one, really nice steelbook, but I think I already own the US 4K, but I couldn't pass up on Roland Emmerich's The Patriot with Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger as steelbook, which contains both versions of the movie on 4K and Blu-ray. Let me just see. No, I'm wrong, Rob. Those are two 4Ks. So the extended one gets a separate 4K. So that was wrong on my part. So these are two 4Ks actually here in the steelbook. The extended and the theatrical both get their own separate versions. From Criterion, I know my friend Thomas Logan is not a big fan of the cover artwork, but I warmed up a little bit to it. I got one of my favorites of, considering the Academy Awards this year, I got Sentimental Value from Criterion. So this is the back. Digipack. And just see. So we've got 4K and the Blu-ray. So this is the whole back. This is just, and Rob, they hear what we are saying. This is, I don't have to clip anything out. It totally fits inside. No?
It's all enough. Us. We take all the credit in the world.
Yeah. And the booklet, which is actually a booklet, not the usual one. I can fold it out. So a booklet considering Sentimental Value, which I totally enjoyed. So Sentimental Value, let me just see. Then from BFI, I actually ordered this from a German from a German company, because I couldn't order it from Amazon UK. The reviews, I think it's more middling. It's a movie from Kristen Stewart, but I'm really looking forward to giving this a shot. The chronology of water with Imogen Poots. So, and it comes actually with a booklet. So, it features a booklet inside. So, I don't know if this is a company piece to The Novice with Isabel Furman, but I'm looking forward to it. And, Rob, considering the BBFC rating, it just says, I don't know if I can make it visible. Strong 6. That's all, Rob. 18, strong 6. That's all. Then, I don't know if you have shown this already, Rob. Considering Lionsgate, Westron stuff, I've got the Ginger Snaps.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
that. I show that. Didn't I show that?
You showed it, yeah.
Yeah, I showed
correct.
it. Yeah.
And I love, Rob, those white emeries that
I do too.
he uses for this. We know they're looking a little bit like the music, the special editions that you buy. So you get the 4K and the Blu-ray, and of course the reversible cover artwork, which is on the other side the same as the slip. So Ginger Snaps. And even if Max, I would say, is now a good friend of mine and has good tips for me when he says, Dieter, if you're disappointed in the movie, just say no. Just say no, but I can't help myself, Max. I can't help myself. For me, it was disappointing, but considering as a 3D freak, I had to get it. Of course, I'm talking about Avatar, Fire and Ash, the 3D steelbook. So I didn't have it in 4K. I just bought the 3K, the 3D version. And the 3D, unlike the 4K, is split on 2 discs because you need the frames double and the Blu-ray, the movie on Blu-ray, and bonus features. So the movie is split on 2 discs. I will give it a second watch, but for me, totally a disappointment. Avatar, Fire, and Ash. This was my first haul room.
A fine haul it is.
Yeah,
A
I give it
fine
over
haul
to
it is. I will start with my haul. That again, not
Hydration break.
not as the haul that I have is not necessarily. I won't go full frame on this one. First of all, I did get a box from Kino. I will go full. So, Amram, a World War II coming of age story, World War I coming. I don't know anything about this movie, but hey, it's Kino Lorber.
Okay.
Now, Kino Lorber mentioned to me, I got a Matt from Kino Lorber said, don't review MacArthur or their 4K Repo Men, that they're going to replace them. So there will be a delay on these, but I do like this packaging. I like this movie. I saw this movie with my dad.
Okay.
So that's coming out. Just remember, Brit Noir Collection 2 came out. Max Allan Collins has something to say about Brit Noir. And then Rogerio Diodato, Waves of Lust. This is pretty much the story of my life right there. But I've never seen that movie. I'm not going to sue him, though. And then we've got James Garner, Sandra Dee, and Tony Franciosa in A Man Could Get Killed, But What a Way to Die. I love how Kino's like taking a page from George Felsenstein and they put the classic poster art on. Then Fred McMurray and Gene Parker and Jack Oakey. Directed by King Vidor. The Texas Rangers. Never saw that. But King Vidor directed it. Eagles of the Republic, another one of their Cohen Media Group foreign titles, which I know nothing about, but they're always usually pretty great. And then Damon Wayans in Major Pain. So there you go. That was the Kino Lorber box, and then they sent me my favorite, other than their 4Ks, is Kino Cult. This is Kino Cult label 51. And this is a Canadian horror film, which I've heard of but never saw, called Matinee.
Okay, Matinee.
And it has Canadian actors like the cigarette smoking man is in this, which is it's very cool. And Don Davis is in this movie. And I know it's a horror movie set at a film festival. It's got a reversible cover.
Okay.
So don't know anything about it.
That-
Haven't
that-
seen it. Happy to have it. These Kino cult titles, I got to call Matt, and I want to bring on whoever is in charge of this label, because I want to know, what is their criteria? How does something become a Kino cult title? What do you have to do to be a Kino cult title? I don't know the answer to that, but I'm sure you have to do a lot. But I do love Kino cult titles. So that is my first stuff from Kino. By the way, we have a super chat from Thomas Logan that I do want to address. I was going to address it later in the news section, but since he's always calling us on shit, I figure it's important before we bring in
24/7 Rob.
He says, the real Thomas Logan. Hang on. Let me go to both of us. First of all, let's bring in our esteemed guest, who I have to add to this. It's been so long since we've had him. I haven't added him to the show yet, but he is waiting in the wings because I want him to hear this. I'm going to add him to this because he deserves to be added to this one. And you know him, you love him. First of all, he does have his own video introduction, and since he hasn't been here in a while, I think it's time we give him his video introduction because we haven't seen it in a while. The C-Wing is open. Please welcome Mr. Max Allan Collins. Max, haven't seen you in weeks. It's good to see that you are alive and kicking still.
It is great to see two of my favorite people in the world.
Well, we feel the same way about you.
Cover me in oil.
And the check is in the mail. Thank you
Well,
for saying
I want to
that.
hear this letter. I'm dying to hear.
Well,
this
it's not a
letter.
letter; it's a super chat. But
Super chat.
so as many people know, I'm always talking about a foreign cinema, the Antonioni Ennui trilogy. But another one of my favorite filmmakers is Andrei Tarkovsky. And first of all, let me just read what Thomas Logan says. He says, "I am aghast that the past 3 Let's Get Physical media streams omitted the 2 biggest 4K releases of 2026. Andrei Tarkovsky's masterpieces Solaris and Stalker. German label Filmjulen releases. Did I say that right? Filmjulen?
Filmjuwelen.
Filmjubil.
Filmjuwelen.
Filmjubil.
Yeah. Juwelen is diamonds, Rob. film diamonds.
Oh, film
would be,
diamonds.
if you translate.
Well, they are releasing, indeed, in beautiful 4K editions, they're releasing Stalker, which is a film based on Arkady and Boris Strugatsky's novel Roadside Picnic. And they are, which, by the way, this is the making of this movie killed half the people involved, including Andrei Tarkovsky, by giving them all cancer. And then the great Solaris is coming out from them in August. So, and I had to check. Yes, both of these titles have English subtitles. So we can all buy them. And I have bought them. So I will get them. I bought them from Amazon Germany, my friend.
Plus, Rob, if you look at the cover at the front, both dubbing versions, extra for you.
Wait.
The West and the East dubbing. West Synchro and Ost Synchro.
Why would I ever
dubbing.
want to watch these movies dubbed? I can't even imagine watching these movies dubbed. I've owned these many times over the years. I'm a big Tarkovsky fan, but I love this packaging. I love the artwork. I think they also put out Cloud Atlas. But yes.
Yeah, correct, Rob.
That was in the news section. So there you go. I put it in here now. You know, the funny thing about foreign stuff is, to be honest, I'll admit that I don't scour. I don't scour the foreign sites when I look for news.
And I'm still, Rob, a little bit hesitant considering those titles. I have no idea how the quality will be. You know?
Really?
No
You
idea.
mean Film Diamond might fuck us?
I have no idea, Rob. Fingers crossed, you know.
Well, how do you have no idea? Don't you have thoughts?
Yeah, but considering our most precious boutique labels, I don't know up to that kind of standard that we are used to from boutique labels, you know.
Well, how can
And I
you
don't
say
know,
that?
have no idea where they have the master from. So fingers crossed they will be great, Rob. But
Bro, you are harshing
Yes.
my mellow. I've already
yeah,
pre-ordered.
yeah. Fingers
Germans
crossed,
have the
Rob.
highest
Fingers
QC
crossed.
standards. Maybe they, got some beautiful
Yeah,
prints from
but
DIFA
you
or
know
something.
how the space is with physical media, you know, especially perhaps a set that you will perhaps show a little bit later, you know. There are
Okay. Well,
but I would
Well,
say
Max-
let's leave it to the headline.
yes, the headliner is here, and so we'll have him talk. Max, how are you?
Well, I had an interesting. You're talking about movie-going experiences,
Yes.
and I had one yesterday. My wife and I had a unique experience in the theater. It's not what you're thinking about, Rob. We went to Scream. What is it? Scary Movie 6.
Scary Movie 6.
Ooh, okay.
We lasted 10 minutes.
Oh,
And we
That
sneaked
long,
in-
that
and
long.
we sneaked into, then, since we paid our money, we stealthily sneaked into whatever that Steven Spielberg movie is called.
Disclosure Day.
Yeah.
disappointment day, I hear.
And
Called.
giving it its due, we stayed for 15 minutes of it. And so this becomes, I've walked out of a lot of movies. Never walked out of 2 movies in a period of like half an hour.
Max,
And-
let me ask you. I can understand Scary Movie, but what made you walk out of Disclosure Day?
Terrible script, terrible acting, terrible directing, just
The whole shebang.
Don't mince words, Max. What do you really think?
Kind of sucked. And I think my wife would have left 5 minutes earlier from both of them, really. I'll give Scary Movie Story credit for one thing. I never saw a movie reveal its badness that quickly. To where you just know, oh, fuck. I'm going to be walking out of this, aren't I? And
Wow.
and Disclosure was just, I mean, obviously, Spielberg's made a lot of really terrific movies. I do not know how he could have done this. It's, I don't know. The acting was appalling. I mean, and the actors were working real hard. Yeah. And yeah, so, but the thing is, as I came out, I wondered, can I get my money back twice when I only paid once?
Yeah, no, you can't.
You could have made
moral-
even a
a
triple
moral
feature,
conundrum.
Max.
You know what I found so strange about Disclosure Day. People were talking about maybe it's a stealth sequel to Close Encounters. The thing is, we already know there's aliens. I mean, whether they're here in real life. I mean, you listen to people, we're alien hybrids, and they're farming we're being soul farmed, and the ontological threat, whatever, all the BS. But how do you make a disclosure movie that doesn't take into account the last 10 years of disclosure? The congressional hearings, all the things that people have said, the Bob Lazars of the world, the things that have been seen. And in Steven Spielberg's world, the aliens showed up 49 years ago. They revealed themselves to the government. They left breadcrumbs, and we all met at Devil's Tower, Wyoming. And then you play coy this whole movie, and there's not one helicopter in this film. Why are they flying, or why are they driving with Oldsmobiles around everywhere? You know, where is the drone technology? They literally have somebody chasing our protagonist on a train. And then you see the characters in the train talking, and then it cuts to them in a field. There's no drone technology following them. I mean, we're asked to believe that this organization that is holding on to this great secret, even though they have 100,000 employees, you know, and their headquarters is in an office park somewhere, but apparently their alien was stolen by one of their employees the day before. I mean, like you said, I'm watching this film, and I thought that this would have been I thought Disclosure Day would have been the beginning of the movie, and everything else would have been the ramifications of, okay, now what? If I was going to make a movie called Disclosure Day, it would be about everything that followed the actual revelation. Like, not only are aliens real, but all the 49 years, the interim in the years since Close Encounters, because the alien they rolled out in Disclosure Day looked like my drunk uncle in a wheelchair. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Like, where's this alien been? Like, they roll him into, and why a TV station? They don't upload videos to the internet immediately? Like, do they not?
Steven Spielberg's movie.
Well, I think the big mystery is, how did they keep Steven Spielberg away from the last 20 years of technology?
Well, it was so weird. Like, it didn't the movie didn't make any sense to me. And I'm like in Spielberg's universe, we already know there's aliens because we saw them in Close Encounters 49 years ago. So
my son would have just uploaded this hidden movie to the internet from his phone.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is he had all these things. They could have been doing it all the whole time as they're being chased. You just have a satellite connection, a hotspot or whatever, and load up your computer and send the gigabytes of material. It wasn't that much. We transfer. And I was watching this movie, and I felt like truly old men shouting at clouds.
Well, this would be a good time, I think, then to reveal the results of the greatest debate.
Okay, these are not results. This is the.
Wait a minute. He's already hedging. But I was going to tell you that the. Well, I won't. Let's just. Do you have the picture that I sent you? Of my grandson's review.
Ooh. Thumb up. Thumb up. Are you sure, Max?
But first, I have to say, as far as the box set I want, I'm kind of thinking about this new Criterion box of all the complete Stanley Kubrick.
We haven't got there. Everyone's harshing my news mellow. We got some great news. Thomas Logan's always cutting me off. You're cutting me off. Fuck's sake. I mean, and these are some of my favorite directors, and you're harshing my mellow.
Well, I want the Joseph H. Lewis complete box set, but that's probably not going to come in my life.
Probably not.
But I have some observations, though. It's funny to see somebody he's 10, so he hasn't been on the planet just quite as long as any of us have been, and he's raised by a rather feminist mother, wonderful woman who I agree with almost everything she thinks, but the comments he had afterwards were things like, why does he kiss every girl the first time he meets her? Why does he kiss girls that he doesn't even know?
Oh man, he's already been indoctrinated by the left.
And he basically at one point said, James Bond isn't really very nice, is he?
And I need to like the character.
Well,
Branded.
But then I showed him. The follow-up is the next week. I don't think I've seen you guys for two or 3 weeks.
Yeah, great.
I showed him From Russia with Love, which he thought was even better. than
Yeah,
Doctor
because it is
It
even
is.
better.
It is.
And it is a great movie. I mean, I will give you this. Dr. No seemed a little creaky to me this time. And
See, see,
but what I realized was it's a relatively standard movie of its kind. It's the Sean Connery performance that transcends it. It's absolutely him that makes it his on the money Bond. I don't know if it's even been surpassed by him, except maybe in From Russia with Love. And From Russia with Love is starting to strike me as the best James Bond movie.
well, it's the closest. I think it's the closest to what Fleming wrote.
Really moves, and Sam, my grandson, commented on how good he thought the action was, and he was amazed by the the great close quarters scene
Yeah.
with
In the
Red
train.
Grant and James Bond on the train, in the compartment. That still is. I do not begin to know how they shot it. I mean, it's crazy good, considering that it's a movie that came out in '64.
Yeah.
I mean, that starts to be a while ago, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm anxious now to show him Goldfinger, which really is the template for where the series is going to go from now on. Because it really, in a way, is the first real James Bond movie in the sense that we think of James Bond movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a 007 movie is structured.
Yeah. So anyway, okay. You've been very nice to me, Rob.
Have I?
And I am not going to ask you, and you've already given me enough free shit that I am not going to collect on my bet. I am absolutely content in wallowing in my gloating.
I would say that there's a little bias going on in there. I reject your sample. And I bless you for being such a great grandpa, but come on, man. What's he gonna say?
I
Now, wait a
hated
minute.
that, Grandpa. It was slow as fuck.
This reminds me. This reminds me of when my wife. I was driving with my wife. She was behind the wheel, and she got a speeding ticket, or she got pulled over for speeding, and the officer came over, and she was very funny because she said, "You got me. That's the best I ever saw," because it was an unmarked car, and he had gone around her, and so she just was very funny and very gracious, and he went back, and then as he's back signing making her ticket out, she starts thinking, well, he was going slow in front of me, and he tricked me into going faster to go around him, and so he comes back, and she starts complaining. After she's told him what a great job he had just done, she starts complaining to him. And then he just stops and says, "Ma'am, I was not going to give you a ticket. I was only going to give you a warning, but I can give you a ticket if you want one." And she backed off. And that's what you're doing, Rob. I'm granting the fact that I think there's some genetic bias working against you here. This kid has my DNA in him. And all the feminists and all the Rob Burnett's cannot affect the impact of James Bond with Sean Connery on this child.
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying that when he sees the other Sean Connery Bond movies, he's gonna be like, "Grandpa, that movie was slow as fuck." That Doctor No.
No, he liked it.
And
I
007 was
liked-
just
I
looking.
liked it too, but I realized. Tell me whether you agree with me on this.
Look, I've been a James Bond. I have a Doctor No original, beautiful original, linen-backed one sheet in my movie room.
Well, if you had any integrity at all, you would send that to me.
No, you can't have it. Although, the poster auction that I've been running, our poster collection, there's some choice Bond stuff that I was able. I liberated. So two of the things that I took that are not in the auction, the On Her Majesty's Secret Service 3-sheet, because I used to have that. I sold it, and I always regretted that. So now I have another one. and the 40 by 60 of You Only Live Twice.
Let's
Kept
see you
those.
frame that sucker.
Well, the 30 by 40. I mean the 40. Pardon me. The 3 sheet
The 3 sheet
is 41 by 81, and the 40 by 60. I'm getting them both linen backed, and then I'm gonna frame them.
Okay,
I'm
before
gonna
we
put-
move on, I do want to ask you a question, and I know you came in with Roger Moore. That was your first James Bond. And that
No, that was my first James Bond in the theater.
okay.
I was
All right.
already a huge Bond fan on TV.
Do you agree with me that if they had made that movie, Dr. No, with virtually any other actor, the whole James Bond phenomenon would not have happened?
I totally agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason that movie works is because you can't take your eyes off Connery.
Yeah.
And his attitude, like you said, James Bond is not a nice guy, you know, but I've always maintained this is why I really couldn't stand the Daniel Craig era at all, because Daniel Craig was never given a chance. He becomes Bond in Casino Royale, and then Quantum of Solace is basically continuing at the moment that Casino Royale ended. And then you jump to Skyfall, where he's a broken down shell of himself, and he's had no career. We never got to see Daniel Craig at the top of his game as James Bond taking on a mission. He was already broken down and problematic.
That's because they know that the audience is bringing the whole James Bond thing with them. So you know what I mean?
But the thing is, when you're James Bond,
I agree, though.
and you have all these tastes, like you understand how you can serve beluga caviar and drink the best champagne at the temperature required. It's because every single day of James Bond's life could be the last day he spends on Earth. So
absolutely.
So what people say? Oh, he's misogynistic. He's like, he doesn't have time. He doesn't have time. If he finds a hot lady on one of his missions, he knows enough and he's suave enough and debonair enough that he's going to take her to bed. He's not going to wine and dine her because he ain't going to see her again. And he might not even get to bed with her because he's going to potentially die. And everybody tries... What's that?
This is exactly... You know my wife, Barb. You know her well. This is how she explained James Bond to Sam, the 10-year-old Sam. She explained to him, this is a man who could die any day.
Yeah.
And
or another day.
That's right. And so anyway, no, that's the fact that you understand James Bond as well as my wife is very impressive to me. Wow.
Well, she slept with him. I didn't. No. But no, I mean, I think that's an important distinction. I mean, we talk about all all this media stuff about how we have to get rid of, James Bond has always been subject. I remember when Living Daylights came out and Olivia Dabo was like, "Oh, James Bond only slept with one girl in this movie." Well, because we're in the AIDS epidemic. And I was always like, you think James Bond gives him? He's going to do whatever the F he wants because he can die tomorrow.
Right.
He could die that same day. It is ridiculous to apply morality to James Bond. He has
and it's what makes him dangerous.
He has a license. He can kill literally anybody he wants. He doesn't need to be. If he kills somebody, he's not going to be brought up on charges because he has a license to do it.
Yes.
And it's so weird how we try and impose these, and this is why we have culture wars. Because somebody comes in and says this character is archaic, or we have to move with the times. It's like, no, we don't move with the times, and you're a stupid asshole. You have to understand what this character does. Don't bring your DEI bullshit to me. James Bond is a character that is going to die. His existence, as a matter of fact, he's the only 00. All we see is 00s get killed in Bond films.
Yeah.
And sometimes Bond kills the 00s, like in GoldenEye. And it's or former 00s. And it's so weird when you see people try and impose that because they don't think through what this character is. And it's like the you can't handle the truth speech. You need me on that wall. You want me on that wall.
Well,
did you order the code red? Yes.
I'm glad we've had this discussion because you and I are really on the same page here. I know
Yeah.
Peter.
Well,
I know
but the
Peter.
thing is, they keep trying to when through the years they keep trying to change James Bond, and that to me shows fundamentally you don't understand your own character, and the character of Bond should not be changed. He's not supposed to be a nice guy, and the whole Daniel Craig era of Bond ruined the character. Casino Royale was great. All the other ones, I love Skyfall. No, you don't. You don't really love Skyfall. It's a movie where James Bond just repeatedly fails. And we did a whole whining about movies about this.
Well,
I lost.
while we're talking about James Bond, it's a good time for me to segue into Brit Noir.
Yes.
The movie. This is a really.
You know what, Max? I forgot to hang on. Let me just before you. I forgot to put you in so people could hear you when you weren't on screen. That was.
Okay.
You know, it's been 3 weeks. I'm a little rusty. What can I say? Let me just put you in and fix this problem so people can hear you. And then they can. And I can go back and show. So now you're good. Go ahead and talk about Brit Noir.
Well, I think Kino Lorber's been doing a terrific job with the Brit Noir and the French Noir collections.
Yep.
There's some real curating being done here. The number one Brit Noir had Herbert Lom as in all three. This one has the great British actor Jack Hawkins in all three. And again, as was the case with the French Noir, they seem to have to be. And the first Brit Noir collection, the three, even though they're all noirs, they're very different. So you get a different look at a different flavor of noir each time. The first one of these is called Home at 7. It's a 1952 movie. It is starring and directed by Ralph Richardson, the great Ralph Richardson, and the only movie he ever directed, and it's really well directed. I mean, there were a couple of extended shots, deep focus things going on. I can't believe this guy never directed another movie because this is a really terrific little movie. It's about a guy who comes home from work, and it's really fun because the musical scores are very upbeat, like, oh, we're on our way home and we're going to be home and have dinner at home. And then when it stops immediately as soon as he comes home and he begins to realize that his wife hasn't seen him for a day. He's lost a day of his life.
Oh, I'm already in.
And he doesn't know whether he's done something bad. We don't know if he's done something bad. We're not sure whether he's faking this for our benefit. So there's tons of interesting questions being asked. It was based on a play by a gentleman named R.C. Sheriff. Has the great Margaret Leighton, a wonderful actress, British actress. It's terrific. Worth the price of admission. Now, and it resolves in a very satisfying, believable way, and people behave like human beings and not like characters in a melodrama, which I really, really like. Then the second one is called The Intruder, and it's now in Home at 7. Actually, Jack Hawkins, this great actor, is the third lead, is kind of the secondary lead. He's a psychiatrist who's kind of trying to figure out what's going on with this guy. Does he have amnesia? What's happened? In The Intruder, Hawkins is the main guy, and he is a retired British colonel who has a lot of war service. And I should mention, this is well curated. The whole box has a theme of post-war Britain. And of course, these are shot in post-war Britain, but I mean thematically, they're embracing it. And I don't want to do any spoiler alerts on the first movie, but his wartime experiences have an impact on what happens to the protagonist in the first movie. In this movie, this colonel, retired from the military, comes home and someone has broken into his house, and it turns out to be basically one of his men, one of the men he fought with, on a lower level than him, of course, but he knows him, and it becomes a mystery story as he tries to track this guy and beat the cops basically to this guy, because he feels he wants to know what took this guy down this dark road after the war. So it's a mystery story of character. It's not a whodunit. It's a why did he do it? Why did he break in? And it's very satisfying. A lot of good performances. It's sort of episodic, so you get to see a lot of great British actors. And the third movie, that was a 1953 movie. So see, we're not 10 years after the end of the World War II yet. So that's still on everybody's mind. And of course, it was rougher in Great Britain than it was here. They had, they had a rougher go of it post-war. The last one is called The Long Arm, and in this one, Hawkins plays a police inspector, and we see some of his home life, we see his work life, and there's a series of jewel robberies, and they're all around England. And it's a very detailed police procedural, very good, and very wide-ranging in it's really an A picture, very wide-ranging in its locations and the use of real places. It's a terrific movie. It is directed by a gentleman named Robert Barr, and I should mention that The Intruder is a Guy Hamilton movie. Speaking of James Bond, The Intruder, the second movie on the set, is, I should have mentioned it earlier, that's Guy Hamilton, the Goldfinger director. And anyway, I could not recommend this higher to anybody who has any interest in either British filmmaking or in noir or either or both. Okay, I have my other favorite label is Warner Archive, and Warner Archive has a thing called Follow Me Quietly, which is a really good little B movie. I mean, it could not move faster. It could not be more efficient. It is a 59-minute movie. That's almost incredible to think of today.
I don't even think that's considered a feature.
I think the feature really better be up to 70 minutes at the very least.
Yeah, I think 72 or something.
Yeah, and I've made a couple in that area. You're trying to get to that threshold so that you can be a feature. When you have limited money, it can be tricky. But the star is a guy named William Lundigan. He was a radio announcer who got discovered and taken into the movies and was a very strong sort of second-tier leading man. And he did all kinds of things. And he's the star here, police inspector, police detective. And Jeff Corey, who's a very well-known character actor, has a really good part in it.
He was in a Star Trek episode called The Cloud Minders.
Yes. And this is very efficient. There's a few things in it because it's a police procedural done in. This was done in. Excuse me. I think it was done in 44. But at any rate, it's a 40s movie, mid 40s movie, and they kind of haven't figured out. This is pre-Dragnet. They haven't figured out how to do police procedurals. So there's some stuff that is a little out of date, but it's a very fun movie if you like it, and it's a well-regarded noir. So that's a good. Oh, and I gotta mention the director. This will resonate with you, Rob. It is a gentleman named Richard Fleischer.
Wow.
Whose father was Max Fleischer of
Yep.
Of Popeye and Betty Boop animation.
But Richard Fleischer has directed many things that we love.
Including a certain underwater picture.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
But he was almost the textbook journeyman Hollywood director. He did you can't name a genre he didn't master. So he get these guys that, it's easy to say what's Hitchcock. We know what Hitchcock is, but if somebody works all over the genres and out of genre entirely, sometimes they get lost in the shuffle. And there's a book out about him right now, and I'll try to mention that again and give you the author. There's a new book about Richard Fleischer, his life in Hollywood, and the writer of Follow Me Quietly. And again, this is a serial killer movie. I don't know, it may be the first of its kind. The guy is called I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a name for this serial killer they're trying to find, and they're trying to do pictures of him in the newspapers and all this kind of stuff, drawings, and trying to put all the pieces together. Very early example of this kind of thing, and the woman who wrote the script was basically wrote a lot of Disney movies. She wrote The Shaggy Dog. Now, you know what the Shaggy Dog is? It doesn't exactly seem like the next thing that the serial killer writer is going to move to. So it does show you that a lot of these sort of workaday writers, they wrote whatever they had to, and you had to have skills that could transfer from one genre to another. So they didn't try to be genre specialists, a lot of them. So that's an interesting movie. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about are several movies dealing with Georges Simenon, his famous Inspector Maigret, who was, and Simenon is really rated as high as Hammett and Chandler and James M. Cain overseas. I mean, this is a worldwide renowned crime writer, and this particular character, Inspector Maigret, and we've had some other Maigret movies on here already. He is, I think he's in something like 75 novels. That's a lot of novels, and I think something like 20 or 30 short stories. So this is a major, and the books start in the late 20s and go into the early 70s, I believe. So at any rate, this is a major character this is a Sherlock Holmes kind of level character. And there are several things in release right now from Eureka, the Masters of Cinema series. Cecile is Dead. This is the and it has it's a slipcover, so you've got a really nice interior alternate label, and there's a booklet. I mean, this is a really major release from Eureka, who are really a great company. What's interesting about this movie, it's fairly faithful edition of this particular novel in the series, but it's made during the occupation. I'm going to show this. This is the alternate cover. That's the original poster. But it's made during the occupation, so the Germans are in charge as these French films are being made, and these films are obviously rather compromised, you might say. And it's interesting to see how they deal with how much they can get away with and what they can thematically insert. And there's some inserting being done in here. So this is a
That's
really
what she
good.
said, Max.
Yes, and I was waiting for that. And
I couldn't disappoint you.
this is a 1944, and I would recommend this. I think it's worth watching. It's interesting. It's a good little picture, but it's also interesting to think about the conditions under which it was made, and it's a beautiful package. Also, it has, like I said, it has a booklet.
Yeah, this is a really nice cover.
Yeah.
Eureka does a great job.
And then the interior is nice too.
Ooh.
So it's a solid one. So I would recommend that highly. Is it the best Maigret movie I've seen? No, and there's some outstanding things that were done, particularly TV. Bruno Kramer's series is terrific, and then the British series, the first one was terrific. But there's a really nice, here they are again, Kino Lorber. This is the Inspector Maigret, the Jean Gabin, 3 pictures that he made as Inspector Maigret, and he is initially, the first one is called Maigret Sets a Trap. It's made in 1958 from I think one of the best novels in the series. And the director and the writer are the same person, Jean Delanoy, and he also does the second Maigret movie with Gabin, Maigret Sees Red, which is a 1960, no, excuse me, Maigret and the Fiacre case, 1959. The first one, the Maigret Sets a Trap, is in the city, and is a police procedural in the city, and really shows how Maigret is more concentrated on the psychology of the suspects than he is on the forensics. He kind of pays attention to the forensics, but that's not his focus, and that's what makes him kind of a classic character, because he's really looking at what makes the people tick. And sometimes mysteries, they kind of short shrift the characterization, which is stupid, because that's really what makes a mystery story, the resolution of the story, meaningful. And the second one, Maigret and the Fiacre case, takes Maigret back to his little hometown. So he's in an almost bucolic area as opposed to the urban area of the first movie. So they're very different movies. Same director, same writer, so there's a through line in terms of the way it feels. And it's also from a really good novel. So, man, this box set rocks. The other movie we've talked about here before is an individual release, Maigret Sees Red, and that's a movie back in the city, but it has to do with American gangsters. So they're very different. It really gives you a real look at this character and how he operates. And I couldn't recommend it more highly as a little box set. And again, beautifully curated. I don't know how they do it, but
Kino Lorber's good at that, man.
Yeah.
Their releases, I don't know how they do it either.
And we get to see things that nobody else would do.
Yep.
I mean, the number of things in the cult area. Who else would release this stuff? And I like having access to all this stuff.
Me too.
So anyway, that's my report. Dieter, I'm not talking about the Phantom yet.
God damn it, Max! God damn it!
I know I prick teased you about the Phantom again and again, but I'm planning next week, if you guys are good enough, to invite me back after I embarrassed Rob, with my grandson's
It happens.
rejection of his opinion. But I think I've got some things that I've wanted to talk about previously, so I'm going to do a kind of a catch-up show if you'll put up with me next week on maybe. So next week, the Phantom. You could so this is your cue. You can dress up in your Phantom suit. I mean, with your mask and or
I do every night, Max.
That's Mr. Walker, where he has the trench coat and the hat and the glasses. So get ready. You've got a week of prep.
All right.
Okay. So,
but Max, you need to tell us a little bit about the film festival that you went to with your movie. Because you were one show where you weren't there with us. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was because that's a festival I've been part of. It's an organization that 20 years ago I had been a president of this organization. It's the Iowa Motion Picture Association, and it used to be strictly an awards thing that was just built into the organization, and it's gradually turned into a film festival so that they're showing some of the films, the selected films. And so we went in to see Mickey Spillane's Cap City. That's this little crime movie that I wrote but did not direct, but was one of the producers, and it was very well received. And there were a lot of nominations, and I really thought there were some pretty heavy hitters from the Midwest in this festival, and there were. And so Barb and I sat through the long award show, just to be nice, right? Not expecting anything. And then we did get basically the 2 top awards for best feature over 60 minutes. There's another category there, but basically the best feature and the best screenplay. So that felt really good.
Most
Did
excellent.
you get shiny trophies at least?
Pardon me?
Did you get shiny trophies at least?
Did Rob tell you the story?
No, not
Okay.
No.
Well, I got the first. We had moved up to be in the front because it was in an IMAX theater in Des Moines that is huge, and one of the things that was boring about the show, which was a very nice show, but people would win an award and they'd be a mile away and they're walking down and there's not even any music playing, and you're just like, so you're falling asleep between awards. So Barb and I said, just in case, let's move up and get in the front row, so that I'll have easy access. And also, I'm an old guy and I don't like to walk that long, that distance. So we win. So I win the screenwriting award. Like, cool. And Barb has it. And those theater seats are kind of like a school thing where it comes around so you can have your food in front of you. She had that there because we had a drink or something, and she had my award sitting there, and I gotta see, how can I say this, a healthy, is it fair to say rotund young woman came when her name was mentioned for her award, came hurtling around the corner, full speed ahead, knocked my award off, and shattered the top of it. And my wife looked at me and said, "So karma is a thing." And I actually thought it was hilarious.
It is hilarious.
I had to win another one.
We need video footage of that.
I had to win another one, so I had something to take home, right? And they replaced it. The organization, they didn't have to, because it wasn't their fault that this young woman came charging around the corner. She was excited. I don't blame her. But I didn't move that fast. I can tell you that much. But so I shared this secret with Rob, and then you had to prime the pump. So anyway, it's really nice to get some recognition for these projects, because they're not. Now this Mickey Spillane thing, I think it's gonna turn up somewhat, not in theaters, but I think it'll be streaming, as is Death by Fruitcake, as is Blue Christmas. So they have a life.
That's good.
I like that. So, but I don't have anything. It has been a very quiet week. I think basically we didn't really have very many people at the C Wing this week.
Yeah, the World Cup and stuff. It's kind of
I think most of our audience was at President Trump's gala, and on the lawn of the White House, which must have been really classy. Yeah.
The lawn's all dead now. The White House.
You got that new. The pool, or as he calls it, the pond.
Yeah.
No, so you at least that hasn't been tampered with, has it?
Oh well, Max. I don't mean to harsh your mellow. But yeah, it's as we move toward our 250th birthday, the seat of power, the White House, half of it's still third of it's still in shambles. It doesn't exist. The lawn's dead. The reflecting pool is full of algae. It's a great indicator of where America is at right now.
I would agree. I would also say I think we need less pool and more reflection.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
I think
gentlemen,
so.
what a pleasure to be back with you again. And Dieter, you got a week to prepare for the Phantom. I won't let you down this time.
Awesome.
Okay.
Really looking forward
The
to that
great
one.
Max Allan Collins, and remember, you can still get his book, The Return of the Maltese Falcon, at bookstores everywhere. Get the hardcover; it's nice.
I completed the sequel.
Ooh,
Which is
already?
which is amazing.
Yeah, it's done. It's been editorially approved.
Okay.
So I intend to do nothing at all for a month.
Good. Can I send you something to read?
You can.
It's
I've
called.
sent you
It's
read.
it's yes, but this is something that all I'm going to tell you is it's called From the Observatory Volume 1.
Ooh. Are you looking for an introduction?
No, just notes. Some people
Just
on this
notes.
some people on this stream right now are going to get a copy of it that don't even know they're going to get it.
How long has this been in the works?
It's sort of something I came up with recently. But
Okay.
it's yeah, but it's volume 1 of what's going to be an ongoing series. And I can tell you how many it is right now. It is 280,000 or pardon me, it's 27,800 words.
Okay. That's doable. I can handle that.
Probably it's going to be a little less
Easy.
than that when I'm done.
But before I go, can I share a little a Father's Day story?
Yes, you can.
My well, you got my juices going thinking about what are the really key, sort of the key things that have been memorable movie-going experiences, and I thought about it, and Star Trek: The Motion Picture was definitely one of mine. I stood in line to see that in very cold Iowa weather, and I loved it, and I still love that movie. So that would have been on my short list. And Chinatown was extremely important to me because it really showed me at a moment when the Private Eye story seemed to be dead, that there were still things to be done with it, particularly if you did it in period. So that was important. But to me, Bonnie and Clyde was the movie that really changed everything. Movies got more violent, they got more sexy, and they got more, everything changed with that movie. I don't know if people really realize how transformational that movie was. Everything flows from that, Sam Peckinpah's Wild Bunch and everything. All of that stuff flows out of Bonnie and Clyde. So my father was not much of a moviegoer. He would go. He would go if he were dragged along. Let's put it that way. But he had an artistic streak because he was a musician, so he wasn't somebody dead from the neck up. There was stuff going on up there. So I said, you got to see Bonnie and Clyde, and so I dragged him to it because I had seen it maybe 7 times at this point. And so we went, and I was sitting next to him. He's paying attention, and there's a scene in that movie where the Gene Hackman's character, Buck Barrow, has been shot up and he's bleeding, and they're in a kind of a grove where there's a lot of cars, police cars are around, and Blanche, his wife, is, there's a lot of blood and tears, and it's just very dramatic. And my father, who was not squeamish at all, I mean, he was a World War II veteran, he just turned white. I just noticed out of the corner of my eye that he just turned white. And I was like, what is that about? And then it settled down. And then when we got out, I said, Dad, what happened? Did you get sick? He said, no. He said, my parents, and he had a habit of doing this kind of thing with me. My parents drove me to the scene of that shootout, the one where Buck Barrow was shot by the cops, and he said, I was there, and they had patterned. The director Arthur Penn had patterned that shot after the real place. I don't know if they went there and shot there, but it was an AP photo that they reproduced live.
Wow.
Basically. And so, as a little bitty kid, probably, I don't know, 8 years old or something, he was taken to this crime scene, and this is something he'd kind of forgotten about. And all the bloody bandages were there, and the shot up cars. I mean, the bodies were gone, but the aftermath of that incredible gun battle, including the bloody bandages were there. And because they like to, this is what a life of crime leads you to, kids. So they can take you. And, my dad took me to accident scenes so that I would not be a sloppy driver, So this was something that.
Those were the days of great parenting.
Great parenting. But the fact that came, that came back and hit him all those years later.
Wow, yeah.
And then I felt like a connection to the reality of that. And that may have been one of the seeds of what took me down a certain kind of book that I write, which is
love it,
the true crime book. So that was an experience, that I had with my dad that had to do with. So I would say that was my most memorable movie going experience.
Nice. Well, Max, that was a great Father's Day story. We will bid you farewell. I'll be talking to you during the week. Hopefully, I'll get you this thing to take a look at.
Rob, perhaps do the super chats first. Perhaps one is for Max. I don't know. Before he goes.
Let's see. Tornado Watch Studio says, I rented Citizen Vigilante, Uwe Boll's best film, but not perfect. Army Hammer. Choose the scenery and is locked in.
Uwe Boll's best film. Okay. Whatever that means.
Tornado Watch Studio says, my bullet in the head arrives in a few days. Well, maybe you'll get your Logan's Run postcard. I can't wait to get my bullet in the head because I've got audition coming as well. Austin 323 LA says, Rob, I'm alive, and hell, so are you. Laugh out loud. I hope your weekend is fucking rocking. Much love, my friend. Well, thank you. Right back at you. Tornado Watch Studio says, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is the best Bond film. It's certainly one of my favorites. Geek Omelet retracted his comment, or their comment, or her comment. I don't know. A Greek omelet has no gender. So I have no idea, but they retracted their comment. But they did support the channel. So thank you for that, Greek Omelet. You're welcome to come back. Major Chai Chai said, speaking of Bond, what's the status of Nellie? I would assume you mean my die-cast wet Nellie from The Spy Who Loved Me. It's basically done. I need to get a new wire. It's been sitting in my closet bubble wrapped because I don't want that beautiful... For those of you who are wondering what that is, I have a 1/18th scale. It's about this big. It's pretty big. A 1/18th scale model of the Lotus Esprit from The Spy Who Loved Me in submarine mode from Agora Models, and it lights up, and it's got a great interior, and the propellers run. But I made a mistake. I reversed these two wires, and I need to get a new wire. I just didn't know where to get it. I've been looking around for it. But I can't find where to get the wire. It's one wire, and then I'm going to seal it up, and it's all finished. And it's great. And the Agora Models makes a model of the Orca from Jaws. It's expensive, but it's really cool. Real Thomas Logan says, it took Steven Spielberg 10 minutes into Schindler's List to win Best Picture. Schindler, Neeson watching the SS getting photographed at the club and craves that attention. The entire film is cinematic cocaine. It is. I love that scene. Actually, that scene it's Oskar Schindler seducing the German high command so he can get what he wants from them later. It's a great. He's brought them the best chocolate, the best champagne, the girls, and it's him seducing them, and it's an incredible. I love that scene. You are correct, Thomas Logan. Tornado Watch Studio says Ralph Richardson, the librarian from Rollerball. People, yes. Yes, he directed that first movie that Max was talking about. Paul Bernardo says, gentlemen, what do you think of the new James Bond movie as a film noir set in the late 50s as it starts in black and white and then color via the opening credits. What do you think about that, Max? Bond is a period piece set in the 50s when the novels were set?
You know, it's an option. It's an option, but I don't think it would ever be the size of a movie. I can't see that movie being a big box office success. I can see people loving it. But there really was a hole dug by the Daniel Craig movies.
Bond died. There was a hole dug for him.
Yeah.
The Daniel Craig movies, I think, did well. Look, I'm of the opinion that there are some franchises that outlive their. I can't wait to see what Denis Villeneuve does with Bond. It's the first time we're really getting an auteurist Bond. You could say Sam Mendes did, I suppose, but he's unfettered by the constraints that would be imposed upon him by Michael Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, so they can do whatever they want, which is interesting. But I mean, Bond really. M said it in 70 or 95. You're a sexist, misogynist dinosaur, product of the Cold War. So does Bond really have a place in this day and age?
Well, I would only argue this much. I'm sure there are agents out there who are living that life of tomorrow I could be dead, which means that that aspect you talked about it as being the heart of Bond, the cold, dark heart of Bond would be there.
You know what? I would almost want to do. I would make Bond the villain, and Bond he's so disgusted with what the world has become that the villains he used to chase after are far more honorable than the people that are actually in power today. So he decides to topple governments, do the reverse.
They tried that in the Avengers movie, and it didn't work out too well.
No, that was terrible. Of course, I'd love to see a longer version of that. Dark Forces Universe said, speaking of Bonnie and Clyde, did you guys see Netflix's The Highwaymen with Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson?
Yeah.
If so, what are your thoughts on it? I haven't seen it. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it.
I saw it and I liked it.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, I did like it. I didn't love it, but it was pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, I like to see Costner in that kind of part.
Yeah, I mean, I love him. One of my favorite things now is just seeing all the Yellowstone clips that are online, like bite-sized clips from Yellowstone. I love seeing Kevin Costner. It's great. Danzig 1979 has been a member for 29 months. Jackson Roykirk has been a member for 65 months. And Dark Forces Universe has been a member for 50 months. And 1001 Johnny has also been a member for 36 months. Richard Curtis says, I got a Frighteners postcard with my bullet in the head in 4K. Oh, well, there's that one too. Big Disc Energy wants to know Max Allan Collins is candidate for the next James Bond. What do you think?
I would like it to be a complete unknown.
And if it's not, I think it's going to be Callum Turner, Dua Lipa's husband, whatever his name is.
Yeah, there's some good ones.
Yeah,
I play that game all the time, as I think we probably all do. But who was Sean Connery? Were people saying, "Hey, there's the guy from Darby Gill and the Little People"?
Yeah, no, they weren't saying that.
So but interestingly, the last time I was on a couple weeks ago, talked about the other Brit box set. And I don't even remember the name of the movie now, but one of those movies stars Sean Connery a year before Dr. No, and he's fucking there. I mean, and so you can understand somebody looked at him and said, oh yeah, because he'd been in a lot of small parts that he'd not been able to distinguish himself much in. And again, Dark Gill and the Little People is not the proto James Bond movie, but this movie, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it. But again, if you're a Connery Bond fan, get that box set, the first Brit Noir box from Kino Lorber.
Yeah. Stubble McShave sends in a tip and says he got Equimedian, which is Alvaro's novel. We'll start it soon. I also got the Super Deluxe 5-disc Wheels of Fire by Cream. That sounds great. When it comes to movies, I got the Epic 4K. I've started having a no-screen day each week. It's refreshing to not be bombarded with nonsense information. There you go. And
We're talking about the Elvis Presley movie, Epic.
Oh, Epic.
4K.
The Elvis Presley
Elvis
movie.
Elvis Presley.
The Baz Luhrmann documentary.
Yeah.
So, Dieter, before I go, are you going to watch the, the Arcadia, what's the name of that 3D masterpiece?
Avatar.
Yes, I will, Max. I will. Every movie,
watch it?
or most deserve a second chance. I hopefully will not fall asleep again. Not saying more.
Just try to fall asleep at a different part so that they can come together as a
That's a good idea.
That's a satisfying whole.
Yeah. I need to catch up after the industrial complex where they saved Scully. What happened after that? That's a little bit of a blur.
My problem is I completely forgot it the moment I left the theater. Actually, during it, I forgot it. It's really tricky to forget something while you're experiencing it.
On that note, gentlemen, no Avatar bashing here. The great Allan Collins. Max, it's great to have
nice
you here.
To be with you guys again. So great to be with you guys.
Absolutely. 100%. And we will see you later.
See you next week.
See you next week, Max. And
awesome.
Yeah. So there we go. The great Allan Collins, ladies and gentlemen. You really should get his book. It's quite great. So
don't forget the fandom, Max. Don't forget the fandom. Slam Evil next week. Max.
Slam Evil. Well, Dieter, we're back to us. We got to show our stuff. Do you have more to show?
Yeah, I have more to show. Should I go first? I'm unfortunately not liking to get you demonetized, Rob, but we don't let anything fall under the wayside.
No, we don't.
This title I pre-ordered back in the day when it was announced, Rob. Then Amazon canceled my order. I don't know why, what happened. And I forgot actually about the movie. And then it popped up again, price reduced. And I thought, wait a minute, didn't I wanted that movie? And then it got canceled, my order. And now I'm able to get it again. Okay. Asian movie, Rob. It's called Horrible High Heels. So this is a nice outer ring, and we have some nice stuff here on the front. Not seeing it, so totally blind for me. Horrible Heels. It is. Let me just see. Company from Massacre Video. So I don't know how much
I'm already
Massacre will be in Horrible High Heels. Totally forgot about it, and then sometimes you're in luck, and as a Schnäppchen it pops up again. This one, I'm fairly looking forward to the sequel because it's a smaller movie, but it's gotten a lot of nice buzz or word of mouth, kept the movie going, and it will get a sequel. I don't know when the sequel is coming out. I already own the movie, but I had to get the Lionsgate special steelbook because I think it looks dope. I've got Fall. I don't know if probably Rob showed it. Probably got that one too from Lionsgate.
I didn't get this. They didn't send me that because it's not Lionsgate Limited.
Oh, god damn it.
Have you seen the trailer for Fall 2?
No, Rob, I don't want to see anything from the trailer. I'm in already. I don't want, and I don't have it with heights. Rob, is this again with heights? I don't
it's good. Fall 2 looks good.
Okay. And this is actually just small. I don't know if I can make it visible. It says unrated here, which actually means just from some sentences that gotten rid of some language for PG-13, but this is the unrated. So, Fall. Then, Max already discussed this movie 3 weeks ago. I already now have it too, but I haven't seen it, Max. But I'm looking forward to watch from Criterion Body Heat.
Yeah, I can't wait to get
Max
mine
was raving
because
about it.
such a great movie. Criterion sale starts
4K.
in 4 days.
In Blu-ray, and this is one of the fold-out booklets for it. So, you see, Max, I buy stuff that I shouldn't, but I hear sometimes what are people telling me to actually get. And I saved the sticker, important for Thomas Logan. Save the sticker, the autograph. So, Body Heat from Criterion. Rob, you already showed this one, but I finally got mine. This was what we're talking about 3 weeks ago. I didn't get much, and you already showed it. I've got the Fight Club.
Yeah. Do you watch it?
Steelbook. Not yet.
It
Not
looks
yet,
incredible. It does look incredible.
Okay. Because we know we're not happy the changes they made
It's so stupid.
to it.
Who cares?
Fight Club. Then the next one. This is the German edition, 4K edition for, as we always try every day. Good luck, have fun, don't die. This is the German. It's not a media book. It's just an O-ring, but nicely done. Then we have the different cover variation underneath it. With 4K and the Blu-ray, and it comes with some, I would say, postcards. Yeah. So, good luck, have fun, don't die. So those are the 3 motives, again, as postcards. So, good luck, have fun, don't die. Put it aside. Then, this one was not the usual thing that Warner actually does. Putting out the 4K stuff just as a standard MRA, and then actually later gets us the Steelbook with more special features. But since I loved the movie from last year, I had to get the Steelbook for one battle after
Nice.
another. And it actually comes with a booklet too. So this is how it looks from the back completely. And it comes with bonus features, Blu-ray, 4K, and bonus features, because
Nice.
the standard edition was, I think, a little bit lackluster on that front. And this has just small, nice booklet to it. But actually seems like just pictures from the movie. So one battle after another, finally out as a steelbook. Because normally Warner actually releases both of them at the same time. But this was a little bit different. Then, Rob, yesterday I watched this movie. Guilty pleasure for, I would say, no, not a guilty pleasure, really, really a good one. And I was really, as we always say, the most important thing is actually the movie disc, and how the picture and audio quality is. Because I've not seen the movie in this kind of quality. But even if I have the collector's edition, it is totally enough if you would buy the standard MRA 4K, or perhaps just the Steelbook, but this is the collector's edition of Arnold Eraser. I got this from Italy, which
That
comes
is a chunky
as the
box.
usual Warner packages with the Steelbook. So, Rob, what a great transfer, considering the 4K, how it looks. And as you know, Rob, I always prefer they add the Blu-ray to it, but the Blu-ray is the old one. It's not the new one. This is not stemming from the 4K master. So the Blu-ray is actually, you can toss it away. That's why I say, if you just buy the American standard version, the MRA, you're good to go, because the special features are actually on 4K. There are 2 special features. The Blu-ray doesn't even have anything, because I remember how old that Blu-ray actually is, Rob. It's actually coded with the VC1 code from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So this has the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is the old one. This is not a new Blu-ray from the 4K. So just getting the 4K is totally enough for you. And then, typical Warner fashion, you get some art cards with the movie, the poster. But it really looks great. So you get the poster with the old cover that most people would probably know. And just the slip, I cut the edges off, and then it totally fits in here. Just see what kind of pictures we are getting here. And I totally had a blast, and I think from me, Rob, Eraser is probably the last big action movie that Arnold actually did, or what we assume when we think of Arnold as an action hero. So here we have Chuck Russell, the director. Here the flying scene, screen. So we have some cards. Mr. Williams do some action too, and this is always the great moment. Arnold with the double big ray guns. But the movie looks great, Rob, with this new form transfer, because I have not seen it in this kind of quality. The black levels, the colors. Yeah, there are some draws here and there where the quality dips a little bit, but in general, really great transfer. So this was my second horror, Eraser.
Nice. Well, I got a few more to show, I guess. Including a controversial title.
Yeah.
So first of all, got some. Wait, I'm missing a disc. Where did my disc?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Anyway, so from Kino Lorber, got some 4Ks. The new Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Oh.
Which came out.
With J-Lo.
The Merchant Ivory production Maurice, based on the E.M. Forrester book. This also has 3 discs in it, which is very, very cool. Now, Repo Man came out in 4K, the Jude Law, Forrest Whitaker movie, but they asked me not to. They basically said toss it. They're going to resend it. Maybe, I don't know what's wrong with it. And then one of Clint Eastwood's first American westerns, Hang 'em High, came out in 4K, which is amazing because I really like it. What did I do? I there was a title here. I really wanted to show it, but I don't know what I do with it. Now, controversy.
Day of the Dead. Mine is
Am I black or white? Am I straight or gay? Woo! Controversy. This is the Shout Factory, Dawn of the Dead. A lot of people have talked about it.
Day of the Dead.
That's what I said. Day of the Dead. This disc is, we'll call it what it is, a disappointment. I don't have to delve into. I did watch it. I did watch the 4K version. Yeah. They do include the laser disc sound in here, which is, there's controversy because there's the Divamax version. There's all different kinds of versions. The definitive version of Day of the Dead, this is not. The negative was missing. Apparently this was taken from an interpositive. You know, I've watched like 10 different videos about this Day of the Dead disc, and I did buy it because, look, as you all know, Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite movies of all time. And Dawn of the Dead cemented Second Sight as my favorite boutique label of all time. And it's interesting because the first Second Sight disc I ever bought was the Blu-ray of Betty Blue. They released Betty Blue because they had both a theatrical and the extended version. It was the first time you could get the extended version of Betty Blue, and that was the first Second Sight disc I have bought. And over the years, they did all kinds of crazy stuff, like Assault on Precinct 13. But when they were able to get the rights to both Martin and Dawn of the Dead, I was very, very excited. Martin was only a UK release. They had a little issue with that. And as you know, to this day, I still do not have the release of Possession, but I'm going to get it one day. One day I'm just going to have to just bite the bullet and go to Evil Bay and be like, yes, take my $250. I have to have it. Why do I bring up Second Sight? because I've been praying to the physical media gods that Second Sight gets Day of the Dead. You know, some people might think that Shout Factory had an exclusive before Second Sight could announce and release theirs. One would hope. But I would just say that if you love George Romero's zombie movies, this Day of the Dead is I mean, it's just, it thinks it's this big, amazing release, but it's really not. And following up what Second Sight did with Dawn of the Dead, which is my favorite physical media release ever of all time. Not just because it's the movie, but it's also the care and effort that they put into that disc. Second Sight even made me reevaluate a movie like It Follows, simply because the transfer. The fact that they spent 6 months making the transfer correct for The Hitcher shows what kind of a company they are. Fidelity in Motion, they do the very best work. So, hey, Second Sight, I know nothing has officially been announced, but I'm just hoping and praying that 2027 will bring us a Second Sight release of Day of the Dead. But if you can't wait, you know, you can watch Day of the Dead. You can see it. You know, it's there. If you know the movie well, you'll wonder.
Mine is on its way, Rob, but you are harshing my mellow now.
You know, not as much as my mellow was harsh watching everybody else's videos. But so I can't recommend this release, and I want to love Shout Factory, but Shout Factory is no longer Shout Factory, and the people that were calling the shots there are no longer calling the shots. So unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I loved Shout Factory because, well, they did such great work for a long time, and they released The Hills Run Red, which is out of print, my own film that I produced, so, which is a very self-indulgent package on Blu-ray. And then, my thing that I got this week, everybody who's watched this channel for any length of time knows that one of the great joys in life and one of the great mysteries in life is why is it that Warner UK, whether it's The Exorcist, Casablanca, Lethal Weapon, Constantine, Ben fucking Hur. What do these movies have in common? I got them all from the UK, and they came in this beautiful Warner Brothers. You could throw this off a building, and if you had duct tape on it, I don't think the disc inside would get hurt. What is this, you may ask? What joins
have a clue?
What joins the pantheon of Ben-Hur, Lethal Weapon, Constantine, Exorcist? You know, their prestige titles. Shall we look at this together?
Not this.
Yes, indeed. Speed Racer. Speed Racer, the special edition.
Shiny.
Oh yeah, with the Mach 5 logo. Look at that. It is shiny. It is shiny.
Yeah.
And this, of course, see, I am a sucker for these beautiful slipcases. And this movie is an acquired taste. Clearly, there are two kinds of people in the world. There's people that love Speed Racer, and then there are people I don't care to know. Dieter. No, but here is the Speed Racer Steelbook, which is also very shiny. Yeah. Which is very cool. And of course, Bill Hunt and I share a love of this film and Speed Racer in general. We went and saw this in IMAX at the Chinese theater, and it was glorious. I haven't even opened this up yet, but here's a box of stuff, of swag. And most people think to themselves, why do you even need all that? And I always think to myself, I have no idea. But I feel better in my life that I have it. So
it depends on how the status for ourselves the movie has.
You know? Yeah. I mean, look at this. Speed Racer, you get a book The World of Speed Racer.
That's nice. Oh,
Shiny, and it's got all kinds of, the characters and
that's great.
family and friends and stuff. It's pretty cool, right? And then we've got,
Normally
of course,
you don't get the art cards.
there's I won't open up all the art cards like Dieter does, but there's a lot of art cards here, a lot of them.
Nice.
And then there are multiple posters, reversible posters, different reversible
What be your
posters.
original theatrical poster?
Yeah, so hey, what a fun thing to have. I'm so happy that I have this. And by the way, the most important thing is not the swag, it's not the boxes, even though we like them. It's the movie itself. Now, the Wachowskis made this, and this movie was shortchanged when it originally came out on disc. It was compressed. It was a BD25. This transfer.
It was at the beginning, Rob, of the Blu-ray.
It was at the beginning of Blu-rays, so 20 years old. This is an insane reference quality disc. The remastering of it, I know it's upscale, but if you watch even what Warner Brothers did with this, it's incredible. It's an absolutely jaw-dropping presentation, unless you're the kind of person that would be annoyed by it and can watch it for 2 seconds without tuning out. But very happy to have this. And I am now missing, I am looking where I don't know what I did with my missing. Well, it's The Arrival that I wrote the article from Lionsgate Limited. I just had it here.
Yeah.
I literally had it here. I don't know where it went. But The Arrival, David Tui's The Arrival, which, by the way, you can read an article I wrote about The Arrival on the Lionsgate Limited website. The Arrival came out, and I am very happy to say, not only does it have a reversible sleeve, the transfer is incredible. It looks and sounds way better than it probably should have. It was a staple of Lionsgate since the mid-'90s, or 96. And the disc, if you like The Arrival, and I really like The Arrival, and watching it again, you've got Lindsay Krause in there.
It's probably the better Disclosure Day, The Arrival.
It is the better Disclosure Day. So it's great. And you can go get it off their website. My highest recommendation if you like,
nice.
alien invasion movies. It's a good one, and it has Ron Silver in it. And he left us too early. There's not enough movies with Ron Silver, but The Arrival is one of them. And love it. So that is my haul for the week.
Okay. I have a few titles left, Rob, to go through.
Okay. I will put you full frame.
So, perhaps we're talking about Shout Select. I have 2 of them. This is one of my favorite Giordano movies. Haven't seen it. Hopefully, no audiovisual hiccups here. I've got The Burbs with Tom Hanks. One of my favorite comedies. But I haven't seen it, so hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is up to the task here. Then you had this movie in the news section, Rob, and I said, okay, I need to get that. Forgot about it, but luckily, in the Schnäppchen sale, it popped up again. I thought, yes, I need to get that from Shout Select. The Hong Kong movie, Golden Princess probably. I love Maria. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. You had it in the news section, and I totally forgot about it, but luckily it popped up again, 4K and Blu-ray, as a Schnäppchen now, and finally I've got it. I love Maria. Speaking of James Gunn, one of his earlier movies, which came out in UK as a steelbook.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Slither. So shiny steel, just a 4K, no Blu-ray, but it comes. Okay, this was pretty the cardboard box, but I think this is just the poster artwork for it, probably exactly same. Oh no, it's a little different. But this is the cover of the Blu-ray. This is a little bit different here. So Slither from James Gunn. And Rob, the biggest problem sometimes is that perhaps you too, that you forget what you have pre-ordered, because I ordered the standard version of this movie, and then in my email box, Vinegar Syndrome, your package is on its way, and I thought, what did I ordered from Vinegar Syndrome? Actually, I ordered the special edition of Faces of Death. So this
Of course you did.
Special edition, considering Video Nasty, Rob. Come on. This is the versatile cover
Are you
artwork.
gonna sit down with a nice glass of wine and watch Faces of Death? Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Well, probably. The stickers here, poster artwork, and this is a double set, so you get Blu-ray and
Oh boy.
the 4K, and it comes with a little bit of a booklet too. And like I said, I thought they really did a nice job actually with the remake, because if you have said these have the rights to Face of Death, should we do a remake? I would have said, Rob, the internet exists. Well, how could you do a remake of Face of Death in this day and age? But they actually had a nice idea. This one, I'm really looking forward to it, even if I think it's pretty much one-to-one as the original, because the director, Ole Borndahl, is the same. But this is the Ewan McGregor remake of Nightwatch.
Nice.
I already own the original ones, and I think this was pretty much shot the same way, same twists. So, as I remember correctly, a one-to-one American version of
Nice.
Nightwatch, where he plays a little bit caretaker in the morgue, and of course, stuff happens here. So, Nightwatch, and Big Rob was pretty happy because the release date came and my order did not ship. People got theirs, and I thought, and I think it's limited. I'm not sure. Hopefully, I get it. And luckily, it came. And sometimes it's actually better to get it later. We will get to that. Rob already has the great steelbook collection of it, but I got the new one. I've got the Rambo.
Yeah, but that
from-
totally blows away the Steelbook collection. I have to get that.
Considering at least yours is more shiny. I will
It
say
is,
that.
but those
And
are
then,
much,
Rob-
the transfers are better, the sound's better, they're better
Yeah.
in every way.
I watched the first three. I don't think I've seen the second one this good, even if the quality on the other discs were already pretty very good, considering picture quality. But here comes the kicker, considering this package. If I haven't seen reviews of it or pictures on Amazon, I probably would have made the same mistake too. So here comes the kicker, people. You would think you can slide this thing out completely. Just it would be a cupboard. No, you can't. So be very careful. Here's the end of it. You can't get it further out. So it seems like you would, and some people did manage to, because they try to push it out further. You can't. This is as far as we can go, and then you just lift up this one, and inside is the diggy that you then can take out. So this is my recommendation or help. Don't pull it out further than it can, because some people tried. It looks like you can, slide it out completely, and you think, okay, it's stuck a little bit, and then they pulled it, and broken it. So luckily, since I got it later, I was aware of that fact. And then you get the diggy with the movies. So this is the back. And you get, of course, all 5 supplement discs. And you get, considering Rambo and Last Blood, both versions of the movie. So the longer extended cuts too. And I watched the first 3, really great quality. And I was just happy how even the second one looked. But even the older ones that Rob has, I think, considering the picture quality, are decent enough. Those are, I think, a little bit more interesting, more on the audio side, because Rob, they featured the Laserdisc track actually on those editions. But everyone comes with, the older ones come now with the Dolby Atmos track too. So this was my last one, Rob, the big, and I'm really happy to got it. And I couldn't believe it, Rob. Without any dents from Amazon.
It's great. Look at that.
Strangely. So no dents. I was expecting it because some people said again, did put it in brown paper bag, But actually a pretty nice package that they use. So people, don't forget, don't pull it out further than you can. Just as far you can't pull it out.
I have to say that I did contacted Lisa Stevenson. Pardon me, Madam Vice President Lisa Stevenson at Lionsgate, who basically I work for writing these articles. And I sent her an email and said, hey, I'm wondering if I could get one of those Rambo box sets.
Yeah.
And she writes me back and she goes, aren't you adorable? And when a girl says, aren't you adorable, that good news will not follow. And she said, we don't even have any copies of it here. If we want them, we can't get them. Because Amazon made
Amazon exclusive.
Yeah. And I just thought it was
Amazon
funny.
Exclusive.
But you know what I did find? The Arrival. That's right.
There it is, Rob.
The Arrival.
Awesome.
Zane, I love this new artwork. This is the artwork it deserves. Here is the disc with the original reversible sleeve.
Nice.
There's 2 discs in it, but and of course, and this is David Toohey directing, and I did write the article for Lionsgate Limited, which you can see.
Nice.
I highly recommend it. I want to say that they've now released 3. Ginger Snaps is 4K, right?
Correct.
So they've released 3 in their
the number on the spine. Let me just see where do I have it?
Right, but what I'm saying is so it's this is the 3rd of their Vestron studio releases in 4K, because the Substitute was first, Ginger Snaps was second, and this is 3rd. So that's very exciting. They're doing a hell of a job. Big fan. Lionsgate Limited. They got Michael coming. They got Hearts of Darkness coming as a standalone, and they've got the whole Bloody Affair coming. Very cool.
No. And another thing we need to mention, Rob, not your cup of tea, but considering the Scream Steelbooks, they designed the Scream Steelbook 4 to fit with Paramount Steelbook, even if it comes from Lionsgate. So there's totally fitting the Paramount Steelbooks from the design, from a quote from the movie on the back. So like Studio Canal did, or with one set that wasn't from Universal, did the exact same so that it could fit together, And the Scream 4 Steelbook is the same size as the Paramount Steelbooks of the first 3 was. This is great.
I know.
Okay. This was the whole.
We have a few more. Let me just get to these last super chats. Richard Curtis always said that he got his Frighteners postcard with his bullet in the head. 200 Watt Studio says, any news on 2010, the year we made Contact 4K? It's coming. All I can say is that it's coming. But hey, there's a postcard for Warner Brothers, for Logan's Run. So, and there's just news. There's news. There's a lot of work being done on a lot of titles. 200 Watt Studio says, no Dieter, always pull it all the way out.
Yeah, I know.
Always pull it all the way out. Well, sometimes. So there you go. We're caught up there. I guess we should jump into the news. There is
because people were way ahead of Europe once again.
I'm getting my
Can't wait.
We know they know when they're getting the news, and everyone always wants to jump
Yeah.
in front of me. Okay, there is some big news for those of you who aren't. So, Arrow. Speaking of Arrow, has a new sub-label. Kind of like how Radiance has Transmission.
Yeah.
Their new sub-label is called Toy Robot Video.
Robot. Yeah.
And they have Obies, dude. They followed Radiance's, and their first release is just for you, Masters of the Universe, the 4K Blu-ray. It's got the preview cut of Masters of the Universe, new interviews with Robert Duncan McNeil, Anthony Longus, production designer Bill Stout, commentary with Gary Goddard, and all of these interesting things. So that's kind of neat for you fans of the movie. Then we have Guyver 2.
Yes.
Dark
Finally.
Hero. He's back and ready to take
Awesome.
an ancient evil from destroying the world. It's the world's most powerful superhero returns in this exciting sequel to The Guyver. Sean Barker returns to settle some unfinished business with evil human mutants. So hey,
Better than the first one.
well, there you go. I'm glad you're happy about that. Then we have Roaring Fire. Emmy Award winner Hiroyuki Sanada from Shogun stars in this wild action-packed film, available for the first time on Blu-ray. On the deathbed of his adoptive father, Texas-raised rancher, that's so wild, Georgie learns a shocking family secret. He has a twin brother and sister he never knew about. Determined to find his brother, Georgie travels to Japan only to discover he's been mysteriously killed. As he stays with his sister and digs deeper, Georgie uncovers his uncle's involvement in criminal enterprises, including plans to build or to obtain a priceless 130-carat diamond. Betrayal and vengeance unfold as Georgie confronts his corrupt uncle and fights to avenge his family.
Rob,
So there
considering this movie, I'm not sure, but I remember back when I was a kid seeing an action movie, martial arts movie, with some scenes I still remember, but I couldn't never find what movie it was, and I have a hunch this could be it. This could be it. Rob.
And you can get it.
Hopefully.
You know what else you can get from them? You can also get Ninja Wars. Ninja Wars coming out. It's a dark supernatural action film set in feudal Japan. It's got new commentaries, all kinds of new stuff on it. All this stuff comes out, by the way, in September. And then finally, we get Marshmallow. Marshmallow, the horror film.
Which is a new movie. From this year.
Yep.
Last year. It's a new movie.
Sent off to a secluded summer camp, a shy and introverted 12-year-old boy, Morgan, is thrust into a living nightmare when a campfire tale about a psychotic doctor becomes real. So here you go. It's Daniel DiPurgatorio's smart and stylish feature debut, which also stars Corbin Burnson, delivers an atmospheric modern-day twist on the summer camp slasher movie. So there you go. There is the new releases from Toy Robots.
The only thing I wanted to add, Rob, Masters of the Universe is just an US release. The other you can get in the UK too. But Masters of the Universe is just for the US market, because I believe in the UK the rights is another company has the rights to Masters of the Universe. So Masters of the Universe is only in the US.
Well, you can't have everything. And then we jump over to Paramount. Paramount's finally decided to get back into the disc business. They're putting out a steelbook of Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah.
They're putting out a steelbook of The Saint. And they're putting out a steelbook of The Cable Guy. For those of you who might want those things, which I'm sure some of you do. Let's see what we got coming up next. Oh, Days and Nights in the Forest. Saji Ray from the Apu trilogy. This is one of the Criterion releases that's coming out. Pretty exciting. They've got a pretty great lineup of new stuff, but somehow my things got all out of order. Let me see if I can find them. So that's coming out. There are also Shoah just in time, before there's a second Holocaust. We've got the Shoah is coming out. This movie's hard to watch, but I think a lot of people do need to watch it so they can once again believe. That might be helpful. And I keep looking for where my Criterion titles disappeared to. Everything got scrambled up. I don't know why. Well, I'll just keep soldiering through. That's from Criterion. Yeah. Then we've got Johnny Handsome coming out from Studio Canal Cult Classics. I kind of like this movie. I might get this. It's great. Walter Hill made it. What's not to love? I like the packaging. So that's cool. Then also we've got from Paramount, Popeye. I Am What I Am. Popeye the Sailor Man. Coming out from Paramount. And then we go to Warner Archive. They have a really great bunch of movies coming out. Robert Mitchum and Jane Russell in Macau. Look at that disc cover. What's not to love? And then we've got Crime Wave. I bet before your shocked eyes, the city blasted Sinside Out. I mean, this sounds great. Who doesn't want this? And then we've got Colt 45 starring Randolph Scott. Technicolor Western with the famous Randolph Scott. And then we've got The Keyhole. Who knows what's happening, but hopefully you don't see anything you're not supposed to see. But something tells me you will. And then we have Spencer Tracy and MGM's The Seventh Cross. I love these painted covers, man. Love these painted covers. And then we've got Ruth Chatterton starring in Lily Turner. I don't think I could ever have dated a girl named Ruth Chatterton because I never would have, unless it's Ruth Chatterton that's starring in the movie, or it's Lily Turner. I don't know. So
can you mention Chief Running Mouth and Ruth Chatterton?
I know I can't. I can't.
What
no one would get a word in edgewise, Dieter.
Yeah.
What would we do? Then we've got this looks pretty great. Errol Flynn movie. Look at that. Errol Flynn and Bette Davis. What's not to love? Warner Archive killing it as usual. You're going to get the highest bit rates and the best looking classical films right here. Judy Garland and Van Heflin in Presenting Lily Mars. I mean, what's not to love? It's Judy Garland. And then we have Ronald Coleman and Greer Garson in Random Harvest. I don't know anything about these movies, but they all look beautiful. Why not get them? And then finally, Captain Horatio Hornblower. I got to get this. See, I look at these sad because Warner Brothers, they have this weird new distribution thing, and I can't get all these movies anymore. They don't just show up on my doorstep, but this I really want. Technicolor Horatio Hornblower movie. I've only ever read about this movie, and I'd really love to see it. And then finally, Hal Roach. Laurel and Hardy, Bonnie Scotland. I mean, this must be fun. Their funniest full-length feature. Again, what a great release. But we're not done yet. Midsummer Night's Dream. James Cagney. This is a huge star-studded production. So Max Reinhardt's A Midsummer Night's Dream. A production of, I don't know if this is a film. I don't know what this is. Is it a film play? Is it the movie?
No idea.
I don't either. But let me find out. I want to know. I want to know because I was looking at this going, what does this mean?
Okay.
Warner Archive here. Let me find it. I'm going to look it up and tell you because I want to know. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Here it is. Love is blind, fickle and true, and under the sway of capricious fairies, it becomes blinder. A queen romances a donkey, more fickle. Best friends swoon over each other and trust, and the truest of all, lovers resplend their devotion. Theatrical legend Max Reinhardt and studio collaborators turn his famed Hollywood Bowl production into an exquisite film, with Eric Korngold adapting the glorious Felix Mendelssohn score. Now, this is something to get. This looks great. So there you go. I want this. I want it. Give it to me. Give it to me now. So that's Warner Archive's releases, and a great slate it is. Then we get to this. Joe D'Amato, this is Severin is releasing now. Let me see if I've never really been able to pronounce this, but this is the Fear the Reapers 4K Blu-ray collection. This is Anthropophagus. Anthropophagus. Anthropophagus and the Absurd. Anthropophagus is from 1980 and the Absurd is from 1981. If you thought our 2018 Blu-ray was batshit fun, get ready to experience Splatter Maestro Joe D'Amato's top-notch, gruesome, morbidly beautiful follow-up to Anthropophagus in 4K for the first time in North America. Borrowing heavily from Halloween, D'Amato unleashes a gut-spewing boogeyman into suburban America for an incredibly vicious and unforgiving saga of doomed nurses, butchered babysitters, biochemical clergy, and some of the most insane splatter scenes in Italian exploitation history. I've even seen Anthropophagus, but not number 2, which is known as Anthropophagus number 2, or Zombie 6 Horrible, or Monster Hunter. So there you go. What can you?
Yes. I had to look it up, Rob. I wasn't sure. I was sure, but I had to look it up. It was one of those video nasties that was forbidden here. And the German title for Anthropophagus was Man Eater, Rob.
Well, there you go.
The man.
It's lots of fun.
Man Eater. Yeah, yeah, certainly. Rob.
You got look at that. Come on, there's the cover. There,
yeah.
God bless Severin for their. I love what Severin does there with all the great covers. I love that they just don't even absurd. This whole movie's absurd, and it's called Absurd.
I remember a TV discussion on television about those video nasties, and this one was featured, Rob.
Oh yeah, for sure. And now we have this one, The Fan. Of course, there's the Tony Scott fan. There's the fan from like the early 80s. This is coming to us from Fun City Editions, which is kind of a partner label to Vinegar Syndrome. This movie is called Der Fan. This is Eckhard Schmidt's cult film The Fan, starring Desiree Noschbosch, Budo Steiger, Simone Brahmin, Johannes Vischer, and Helga Tolle. Simone wants nothing more than to love and be loved by R, but he uses her with machine-like coldness. When he walks out on her to join his friends, she plots her revenge. She plans the ultimate sacrifice of her god on the altar of her madness, a ceremony as exalted and romantic as it is horribly wonderful. I don't even know what that means, but there you go. Der Fan. It sounds good to me. This is from 1980.
I don't know if I would call it a German cult movie, but
you should call it that.
It was had a big discussion back in the day. I remember.
Well, there you go. Then we have Brit Noir Collection 4, which is coming.
Ooh, okay.
I know, right? Brit Noir Collection 4. We've got Anthony Mackie in the movie Desert Warrior, directed by the man who directed Rupert Wyatt, who directed Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I really feel sorry for everybody involved. Ben Kingsley's in this, Charlito Copley's in this, and of course Anthony Mackie. It made no money, but hey, I want to see it. I'd watch this movie. Then we have, this is from Deaf Crocodile, Cat City Collection. I don't know what these movies are, but the first Cat City is from 1986. Unflappable Mouse Secret Agent. Nick Grabowski goes up against the criminal cat gang run by sinister metal pod Mr. Tufel in director Bela Tarnowski's surreal animated sci-fi treasure set in the year 80 AMM after Mickey Mouse on Planet X, where cats and rats have banded together to eliminate mice. The film features a show-stopping series of musical numbers, including a bizarre chorus of Mexican vampire bats who inhabit an ancient Mayan temple. I'm in. Count me in. So you get Cat City, and then you get Catcher Cat City 2 from 2007. And you know what? Deaf Crocodile, you can go no wrong by buying something from Deaf Crocodile. Support them. They are a wacky, wacky bunch over there. Then we have The Arrival from the Darkness plus St. Wenglesius. This is the Czech silent genre rarities from director Joe somebody. Director, hold on. These are from the 20s. director Joe S. Kolar's movies. And there's Arrival from the Darkness and St. Wenceslas. And they've all got Czech subtitles and everything. They look pretty wacky and fun. What's not to love? They're coming. I don't know who's going to buy it, but somebody will. What Have You Done to Solange? An old favorite that's been released on every single format ever. Again, from Severin Films. Massimo Delamano's What Have You Done to Solange is coming out into 4K. I expected this to be coming. If you've never seen What Have They Done to Solange, it's been called a kind of a giallo, one-of-a-kind kind of giallo, that delivers shocks with the precision of a Swiss watch. More than 50 years later, the stunner that remains massively disturbing at a deeper level is uncut in 4K for the first time ever. When a series of brutal sex murders rocks an all-girls Catholic college, suspicion falls on a philandering professor whose own investigation will uncover a conspiracy of depravity. So what's not to love about this? You know you want it. You know you're going to get it. Well, just order it from Severin, because they do a good job. Then we have this little delicious nugget. The Wicked Woman, or Be a Wicked Woman. And this is coming to us from Terror Vision. And 2 scorned women agree to kill each other's husbands who are guilty of neglect and infidelity. Once things are set in motion, events start to spiral out of control. Made in 1989 and to be released in 1990, An Experience to Die For was directed by iconic director Kim Ki-young. Instead, it was shelved until 1995, when it was put in front of the censorship board again and retitled Be a Wicked Woman. The film itself didn't premiere until 1998, following Ki-young's death from a house fire the same year. For the most part, Be a Wicked Woman didn't gain much traction, slowly disappeared over the years, and never made it out of its home country. From the director of The Housemaid, Women Chasing the Butterfly of... From the director of The Housemaid, Women Chasing the Butterfly of Death, and Women of Fire, comes Ki-young's last film. And it's a brand new restoration, so you can even watch a trailer for it. Be a Wicked Woman, a.k.a. An Experience to Die For.
The synopsis that you read, Rob, I would think somebody remade this movie already, or did a remake, considering the synopsis with the 2 women
Probably
killing each other's husbands.
Yeah. This is the new Hammer films, Whoever Slew Auntie Roo from 1972, starring Shelley Winters, Mark Lester, and once again, Ralph Richardson, everyone's favorite librarian from Rollerball. Another Hammer banger. Whoever Slew Auntie Roo. There you go. Then we have Discotheque Media. Back to Thriller, A Cruel Picture. Christina Lundberg coming out. Journey to Japan, The Kyoto Connection. Swedish glamour model Christina Lindberg from Sex and Fury stars in the Carnal Crime Odyssey from director Sadao Najima. And Christina Lindberg. Let's hear it. Presented in the original Japanese language. So that's good. That's all I picked from them. They've got a bunch of anime that's coming out. Oh, including, I should say, they're putting out this. If you guys haven't seen the anime Monster, you've got to watch it. It's incredible. There's like 50 episodes, but watch it anyway. Okay. It's amazing. I loved Monster. Somebody told me to watch it, and I got sucked right in. I'm like, what is this? It's delicious, whatever it is. Then we have this, The Black Cat. Let me guess. Once again, coming from Severin. It's the 45th anniversary of The Black Cat. Between City of the Living Dead and The Beyond, Lucio Fulci wrote and directed this overlooked love letter to the genre from one of horror's most creative minds, now presented in 4K for the first time. So there you go. Then we have Lucky. I don't know if you know this movie, but it aired. Lucky is a Shudder release from 2020, but it's coming on the market. And here it is, Deets. If you haven't seen it yet, why not? I've seen it. Deep Water.
The US release is just around the corner, Rob. Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, well, Rennie, I'm not going to say anything more. I've said my piece.
Yeah.
What can I do?
Yeah, I know. That Finnish hack.
Maniac, the remake with Elijah Wood of the Joe Spinell, Bill Lustig film. It's coming out from 2012. It's coming out in 4K.
Cool
So-
cover variation of the
I know, right? Now we go down under to
Oh.
Imprint Films. This is, of course, Tiger Beat.
Yeah, Tiger
1
on
and
the
2.
Beat, right.
Chow Yun-fat's in that.
I didn't know about those movies, Rob, and I have the Shout Select version of the movies, and I just watched both movies. And Tiger on the Beat, the first one, is awesome. It's awesome, Rob. Never
Wow.
seen it. So it was totally a new find for me. And even the second one has its moments, but the first one is awesome.
Well, there you go. And now we come to Battle of...
Bastard.
Did I say
Bastard.
Battle? Yes, Bastard Samurai. Battle. Bastard Samurai. This is based on the 1979 TV series Reincarnated. This is a Shaw Brothers film adaptation that broke box office records. So I'm sure this is great.
No sound. Is there mute alert?
That's weird.
Almost too quiet. Okay.
I
not
don't
changed
know
anything?
what Tom Jr. Jackson's calling me, so I would assume, Tom, I see your call. I don't know why we would be muted. I think sound's coming through right now, right? Yeah? I see it. I see the sound.
We can understand each other. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, too quiet. Something bad is going to happen. Now he's back. Another
Oh.
Charles channel said now he's back. Okay, fixed it.
Well,
There
that's
we
good.
go. Okay,
Terror
whatever it
Express
was.
from Severn. There you go.
You're back. Okay, sound is back.
We're back.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And then we've got Big Jake with John Wayne. It's a big Western. Big John, Big Jake, Big Western, Big Jake. Coming to you from Kino Lorber. And then we have Mars Attacks, another Warner Brothers banger in 4K. So that's great. Excellent. Now I found my missing Criterion titles. Here they are. More Criterion titles. These are Louis Carax, Leo. I don't know him. Leo Carax, the great director. Earlier films of his, Boy Meets Girl, Mavis Sang, The Lovers on the Bridge. Leo Carax is a great filmmaker. So that'll be interesting. Novo Vogue from Richard Linklater. I really want to see this. I have not seen this. It's about the making of Godard's Breathless. I love the trailer. I cannot wait to see the film. Then Criterion's bringing us, Wagner
Nice.
Moura, who's starred in Secret Agent, who's now in the Ocean's prequel about Danny Ocean's parents, coming out from Criterion. Then we have 12 Angry Men in 4K. And hey, that's good too. And then we have Two Prosecutors, which I know nothing about, and those are Criterion films. And then we are down to the charts, buddy. Avatar Fire and Ash is number 1. Hoppers is 2. One Battle After Another is 3. The Flintstones is number 4. The 94 Flintstones must have been re-released. Killers of the Flower Moon from Criterion. Fallout Season 2. Avatar, the 3-movie collections at number 7. Escape from L.A., re-released, I think in a steelbook, is number 8. Number 9 is 10 Cloverfield Lane. And number 10, I have to get this, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Because everybody keeps telling me to do that, which I need to do. And now we get into the top-selling just 4K discs. One Battle After Another, Avatar, Fire and Ash, The Flintstones, Hoppers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Escape from L.A., 16 Cloverfield Lane, Fallout Season 2, Speed Racer, and Akira.
Akira. Oh, look at a jump for Killers of the Flower Moon, Rob, from 122 being a Schnäppchen back in the top 10.
Because it's, yeah. So that's it, buddy. That's the end of the news
Nice.
that's fit to print.
Nice. If you want, Rob, you can take a short break. Don't worry. The live chat.
Don't worry, I
will
won't leave
not-
you hanging.
That will not be that long. Hopefully, I have context from 3 weeks ago, because previously on Let's Get Physical Media, Brian Knight goes, Robert, at what point do you think John Campbell thought of driving off a cliff after watching Mandalorian and Grogu for the 4th time? He needs to go to his family home to recover, which he think he did. Secular Monk, watching John's reaction to Rob's ranking was great. Yeah, when Rob did his Star Wars ranking and only ranked 2 movies, the worst one and the best one, that was great. Rulard 611, I really enjoyed Mando and Grogu. It was a bigger budget version of the TV show, and that was okay for me. Maybe a little too long, but I really just had a good time. Okay. Tom Jr. Jackson, I've seen it twice. It was a fun time. Twice? Why? Why, Tom? And Rulard 6611, that's all I wanted. I wasn't looking for a deeper analysis of Star Wars. I feel like this can be created on a different scale since it's its own thing. And Uncle Jimmy Jam says, I had fun watching it too. Okay. David Rose thinks film budget should be 10 to 20 million. It would be nice if it were that way. We can have big budget movies, but we need to deliver and have to be something unique. Dr. Sleep has Rob, considering Rob was wearing his shady glasses 3 weeks ago. Now I get the context again. Dr. Sleep says, has Rob been bitten by a vampire seductress? Light sensitivity.
I can only hope and wish.
Yeah. And Alpinal 66 says, Rob, the critical thinker. BCH2 says, Rob, the long lost Bluth brother. Was all bind together with his shady sunglasses. Dr. Sleep, Princess Mononoke 4K being released in Japan on next week, actually. Any word on releases elsewhere? I've actually not heard anything about that.
I haven't heard anything either.
Hoping the other 4K remasters of Ghibli's films soon. Visited the Ghibli Museum on my trip to Japan this month. Hopefully it was awesome. The Alex Sorber. Highest recommendation for a Criterion 4K release for Body Heat. A film I have seen many times since it came out. That movie delivers every time. Really looking forward to it.
I love it.
Considering it was the one question I forgot to ask Max, if he actually had seen Spider Noir on Amazon. Albetal, Black and White is a must with this. Looks great. And Striker Gray says, Face of Death remake was really good. Yeah, I found too. It was actually surprisingly decent. Patrick Williams, maybe there will be a 4K release in black and white of Spider Noir. There actually could be. Amazon is releasing their stuff on physical media. But it would be nice if they would add both versions, if they're putting it on physical media. Handelo said, Deeds is my spirit vegetable. Then we have LK8181. What a disappointment of a game. Speaking of First Light, he was not a fan. The game is one long training mission. Yeah, was First Light. But I quite enjoyed the game. Boris J. This show, Let's Get Physical Media, is part of the Campia universe, so I watch it. Shonen Kaiju, Scarlet, the animated movie that I showed 3 weeks ago on Steelbook was okay, not as good as the director's other films. Striker Gray, collections are just stuff someone will have to toss in the trash one day. Yeah, but if I'm 6 feet under, I actually don't care what happened with all this stuff. Brian Knight. Dieter, I always thought Ilsa, the Tigress of Siberia, was the last movie in the series. For many years, it was the most difficult movie to find. But thanks to Kino Lorber, we got all 4 Ilsa movies. Even if I've seen the last one, which was actually called Greta, this is the only one that's really trash, which really did not hold up to the other 3 at all. LK8181, that Arlington Road looks fantastic. That is a fantastic thriller. Yeah, watch it again. And luckily, I've forgotten a lot of stuff of the thriller. The 4K the transfer was decent, but I think there was some room left to do a little bit better. Then we have Brightstone Pictures, our friend Eric von Shore, who directed Hope and Glory, was in the live chat. He says, I always found the cover so great, I never had the courage to watch it, because I fear it doesn't live up to the movie which the poster invoked in my head. And he speaks actually of Q, the Winged Serpent, speaks of American Monster. Yeah, it's a little bit of an older movie, Eric,
It's
but
low budget.
I think you could dug it. Buck 9612. I don't collect a great deal of physical media. I buy a select or a few items that I know I'm going to enjoy continuously. That's actually how you should buy your physical media. My next purchase, I've already pre-ordered it. It will be the Stranger Things box set coming out sometimes in July. I'm looking forward to. And he continues, my favorite movie poster is Jaws, which is also my favorite movie. 100 Collecting says, I bought the Steel last year and will get this, but we need a 4K of The Hateful Eight, please. The 4-hour version that's on Netflix. Unfortunately, I've never seen the 4-hour cut of The Hateful Eight, and he was, of course, referring to the whole bloody affair. Handelo says, Rob should not explain the sunglasses, just keep wearing them always and everywhere.
I can't see
The Alex Sorber, it says ninja in the title, so how bad can it
That's right.
be?
That's right.
That's-
That's a very astute way of looking at things.
Does Play-Doh, Rob and Dieter should do this show dressed as ninjas. Gordon Vidal, literally just walked out of back rooms. What the fuck? I prefer the one with hot chicks called Back Doors. The Alex Sorber, Speed Racer is not dull. It's just not very good. Exactly what I said.
Wow.
Rodrigo Will Alba says, hey Dieter, have you watched the new season of Killing Mindfully? I have not started yet. I think this is the German series which got in the second season. I have not started it, but I need to get on that, but I was out the World Wide Web. Drew Gordon, did Dieter see Naked Killer yet? I've seen Naked Weapon. I think if you mean that older Hong Kong movie, this is one we need to get a nice Blu-ray of. Naked Killer, I want to have on Blu-ray. And the last one, Rob, is actually something I screenshotted from the live chat from the show today, because Gordon Vidal says, Dieter, great match against Ivory Coast. Deutschland über alles. Onto the knockout round. Actually, Gordon, game yesterday, I've lost a lot of nerves. Let's just leave it at that. Was not a good game. I'm happy they won. They continue to the next round, but considering the game, holy smokes. Okay, Rob, this was the live chat readout from.
Well,
3 weeks ago.
that brings us home, I guess.
Yep.
I do want to
If you
point
have
out.
some super chats left, perhaps.
Oh,
Rob?
we
I
might.
don't know.
You know, that's a good question. Let me go to the super chats. Super.
Correct you, Gordon. Naked Killer rules. Naked Killer rules. We need a Blu-ray of that.
No. Thomas Logan says, Bobby,
Yeah.
explain why Tarkovsky's Solaris is so important and why it's indisputably the biggest 4K release of 26. Is it though? I mean, we've already got things like Ben-Hur, the Ben-Hur restoration, the Stuntman, but Tarkovsky, here's the thing. So, for those of you who don't know, Solaris is based on a Polish science fiction writer, Stanislaw Lem's novel of the same name that Steven Soderbergh later adapted. And it was produced by Mosfilm as kind of the Russian answer to 2001, but not really. It's come out a number of times on physical media. Criterion's putting out. I'm sure they're going to get the 4K to put out in this country. But, it's definitely an acquired taste. I mean, I think it's one of the great science fiction movies ever made. It's truly a science fiction movie for the ages, and I would put it in the top 10 science fiction movies ever made. But I don't know, Thomas Logan, why the biggest 4K release of 2026. I don't know. It's hard to say that because everybody is different. I mean, it's not like Solaris has been out of print for any length of time. I mean, I have it.
Yeah.
I've owned it on multiple formats. I've owned multiple versions of the movie poster for Solaris. But it is great. And the first time I ever saw it was actually in the theater. I saw both Solaris and Stalker in a theater called the Neptune that no longer sadly exists in Seattle. It was in the University District. And it was like a former concert venue converted into a theater, but it was our art house theater. It was our landmark theater. And it would, you'd get the flyer for what they were showing for 2 months. And I want to say I saw Solaris when I was in junior high school. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, that's where I saw both Stalker. I didn't see them at the same time. But I saw Stalker first run when it was first released in America. And I want to say I saw it there. But Solaris I saw at the Neptune. And I remember seeing it because you couldn't see it. I'd seen books that had pictures of the movie in it, but there was no way to see it. They never ran it on TV, and so I was able to go see it, and I loved it. I loved it from the first time I saw it, and I want to say I was 14 or 15 when I saw it for the first time. I don't exactly remember. I saw it when I was in junior high school. So, some friends and I, when we would see everything, and as science fiction fans, we hadn't seen it. And I want to say I saw Stalker before I saw Clockwork Orange. But I don't know if that's true, because I saw Clockwork Orange on video. I later saw it in the same theater that I saw Solaris and Stalker at. But I saw Stalker
Fingers crossed on that 4K, Rob. That will be a new experience.
It bums me out that you're telling me that there's a possibility like I should not get it.
And you should, Rob, but it's not Second Sight, it's not Arrow,
Yeah, but it's you're not sticking up for your own homegrown company.
Yeah, but hopefully it's great. But I have no idea about the transfer. Fingers crossed, Rob.
I don't either. I would assume that it's probably a pretty good transfer. That's the thing. I mean, the Criterion discs are great, and Solaris, the Steven Soderbergh version, has I think you got me the German media book of that. Yeah. It looks great. That's one of the lost Lightstorm movies. There were 3. Yeah. We got True Lies, but now Where is Strange Days, also released in Germany. And Where is Solaris? I got both Solaris and Strange Days twice from Germany. So, hey, I love the packaging.
Strange Days is a great disc.
Yeah, it's a great disc.
The new one.
Yeah.
Because there's an older one that's not as thrilling.
No, the new one's great. I can't believe those movies have never been released domestically. But anyway, I want to remind everybody that our poster sale, original National Screen Service Corporation posters from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s is still going on. We just dropped, in honor of Toy Story 5, a lot of really weird Disney titles. There's a There's, I think, a movie called The Great Callaways that I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
But we have a beautiful poster for it. I'm like, wow, this poster's beautiful. A lot of lobby card sets, but that joins. We did Hitchcock last week. We've done sci-fi, horror, Barbara Streisand, fantasy, Bond, and there's a lot of stuff for everybody. And these posters, a lot of them are uncirculated. They're in great condition. We have Woody Allen coming up. We got musicals. We got comedies. We got 70s and 60s classics. All through the summer, every Friday, we're doing more drops. And you can find these posters at the eBay store Find Your Niche. If you go to Find Your Niche, by the way, Gabe, who runs that eBay store, we do have, he does, but I can say me now too, because I have a sub store. He has a 100% on eBay, and he will take care of you. He will get your posters to you fast. Major Chai Chai bought a lobby card set of Midway and gave it to her father, which is a great lobby card set. And if you do buy anything, take a picture of yourself with your item and send it to me, and I'll put it on my shows. But yeah, they are competitively priced, and some of the stuff's more expensive. But there's a Live and Let Die 6-sheet. Speaking of Bond, a 6-sheet is 81 inches by 81 inches. It comes in 4 panels. You got to get it mounted on linen, but incredible stuff. There's a 6-sheet for Diamonds Are Forever. There's all kinds of stuff. There's hundreds of things, and there's stuff added every day.
I think almost 1,000 pieces. Not yet, Rob, but you're getting close to.
Yeah, we're getting close to 1,000 pieces, and we've got another 3,000 to put up. So It's crazy. And then also you can get True Noir, and White Devils will be coming out everywhere. By the way, our movie White Devils stars Johnny Coyne, who stars in The Mandalorian as Lord Janus. So, hey.
Okay.
Our actors in The Mandalorian. He was also in the new Toxic Avenger. Nice. So there we go. And I want to thank everybody for generously supporting this channel via super chats and tips. Thank you. I will be doing a Robservations tonight. And
nice.
Yeah, I don't want to announce my little writing project until it's completed. And I am working on all the perks for True Noir, and then we can start the short story contest, which is great. Yeah, so that's what's going on. And
awesome.
For sure, I'm going to do like 3 member calls in a row starting next week. I apologize for not having done one. Yeah. Been a little crazy. And also, I'm still on the John Campea show, but John is changing things up moving forward. I don't know. You're probably going to see a few more rotating guests, and I will not be appearing in studio anymore. He's doing everything remotely. So that'll be interesting for me. It means I am freed up to be on Versus on Monday, which I've missed, so I can go back to that.
Awesome. Yeah. Nice.
So there you go. What about you, Dietz?
For me, fingers crossed for, of course, America and Germany in the next round. Because, Rob, next week, if you do a show, we need your tips, because then we will know the opponent for each team, and then we will know. We need your tip again, how the games will shake out. But for me, on my end, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. And with that, I say to everybody, have a great day. Have a happy Father's Day. Be sure and tell everybody how much you value your father. My father left us back in 2006, and I miss him quite a lot. So, and on that note, buy some more physical media, even though it's getting harder and harder to find things that you want to buy.
Buy the Masters of the Universe. We want a sequel.
Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will see you all later.
See you next week.